And now on Who's Views, it's time to join JT, Paul, and Third Doctor Ian for the latest headlines.
Here we go again then, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Who's Views. And yes, it is indeed Sunday. It's the 20th of July, 2025. This is your big show. It is, of course, Headlines. Great to see you all. It's part two of Headlines, actually, because, of course, we've had a Headlines weekend. So much to talk about at the moment. We were also on last night. So if you haven't seen that show yet, you've got another one to go and look at. But here we are with this particular one. Great to see so many of you joining us already. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Have you heard? The CEO of BBC Studios really wants Disney to stay in partnership with Doctor Who. Emmy, the Emmys have just, in my opinion, insulted us all with the Doctor Who nomination, the first in its entire history. We're going to be looking at that. I'm sure you've all got a lot to say about that particular one. And we're going to be asking during this particular show as well, why do we bother? Thanks to an article from Gareth Roberts, we're going to be saying, why do we look at television? Why are we bothering to follow certain television shows? All that and more is coming up right now. Let's go and see what these two have got to say tonight as well, because joining me tonight, as ever, is Paul and Third Doctor Ian. This is going to be a big show, guys.
Fantastic. Hello, everyone. Hiya.
I like what Domgo's just said in the chat. It's Sunday, it's 8 o'clock, it's crack. Who's Views? That's quite fun. That's quite fun. As usual, I'd like to say a huge thank you to everyone that's been getting in touch with us this week. As ever, if you want to get in touch, and I'm going to say again, guys, it does take me a bit of time to get back to you all. It really, really does. But I will eventually. I've still got some stuff to reply to the beginning of the week, but I will get to you. Who's Views 1 at gmail.com is the email address. Who's Views 1 at gmail.com. It's always great to hear from you. But yeah, I'm terribly slow and I'm sorry. But I will get there, I promise you. But this week I'd like to say thanks to Stephen Lee, to The Thing King, to Mark Postgate, STZ0752, to Matt, the Silent Wee Music King. Also to Mark Greaves, to Colin Smith, to John Sheridan, to Jason Ganelli, Jack Main, to Rory Stanhope, to Jim Hillist, 3745, that one. Crimpling to Bloom, to P. Ferreira, Stephen Griffiths, to Raymond Williams, to Daz Blue, to The Happy Werewolf, to Rob and Calvert, who has also written a very nice and honest open letter to Mr. Mark Gattis on last night's show's comments. So Mark, if you're watching it, because I know you love us, go and have a look.
The grumpy old fans who is not for us.
There's an open letter there to you from Robin. So go and have a look at that at some point, Mr. Gattis, on last night's show. And also to the Golden Age Geek. Thank you so much, everybody, for getting in touch. Always great to hear from you. Mark Gattis. He's going to be another one I won't be talking about soon, I tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we should be forgetting him sooner rather than later, everybody. I don't know. I want to start the show, though, with a big, big, big birthday. And I want to say a huge birthday greetings to a British icon, a British legend of television, British television, who has been around for all our lives, who is celebrating his 77th birthday this weekend. I'd like to send big love, big hugs, and everything to Sooty!
Yay!
Woo! Yes! Sooty is 77 this weekend, everybody. What an achievement. And he still looks like a little baby bear, doesn't he, everyone?
Yeah, he's not got any grey bits by his ears or anything, has he? Nothing like that at all.
I think he's had a bit of work over the years, Paul.
He probably has. A nip and a tuck here and there, yeah.
Yeah, of course, Sooty has and is still in the running to be either James Bond or the next Doctor Who.
Doctor Who, please.
Oh,
that's too much
like Ncuti, isn't it? Three-dimensional character.
Yeah. Can you imagine, though? His arch enemy, the Master, would be played by Sweep.
Of course, perfect casting. Or you'd have Sue as the Rani, perhaps. That'd be good.
It would be fabulous, though. And if you're outside the UK now, you haven't a bloody clue what we're talking about. But this is a television legend here in the UK. Sooty is 77 years old. All those kids, all of us, through 77 years that I've grown up with him, with an ongoing television show, stage appearances, pantomimes. Born in Blackpool as well was our Sooty.
Yeah.
Wow.
77 years old. What a television legend he is. So I just couldn't resist, everybody.
I love the story that Harry Corbett rather used to put make sure there was holes in the case so he could breathe. So.
Oh really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that. A great story. That's a great story. A lot of you here saying happy birthday to Sooty as well. Julianne saying happy birthday, Sooty. But I admit to being a bigger fan of Sweep. Sweep is the naughty one, isn't he?
Yes. Yeah.
And that's why everybody likes him. And you can get so much merchandise with Sweep and his sausages now. It's fabulous.
Have you seen the lovely mock-up of him as Davros? It's superb.
Yes, that is very funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, when he was auditioning for that.
Yeah, superb,
Sooty doesn't look a day over 20, says Duncan Funky Evans. Yeah. Wasn't Sooty's dad in The Demons, says Graham.
That's right. Yeah. Or is that his uncle, perhaps? I don't know.
I think it was his uncle. Yeah, well, you're right there, Graham. Yeah. Domgo is saying Ncuti Gatwa. And John is saying, I'm sure he dyes his fur.
I bet he does. Yeah. Yeah.
I think he's taken a leaf out of Cher's pioneering efforts. I'm a sweep man myself, said Problem Being. I had heard that. Noodle Arms is saying, Izzy Wizzy, let's get busy.
Wow,
John Mason.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody. But it's great. Bill Lowry is saying happy birthday as well. So is Frankie. Love Sooty and Richard. Oh, Richard's the new guy.
Yeah.
Richard's the new guy that looks after Sooty and is his housekeeper. Yes. And Frankie is saying to us, obviously a big fan, Frankie. Sooty has some new episodes coming soon to ITV. I should bloody well hope he does. You know,
I love looking at vintage ones on YouTube. They're amazing. When Harry did it, really good. Yeah. But it's amazing that Sooty is still as big today with the kids, isn't it? It shows you, and yet they can't get Doctor Who right. Yeah.
The mischievous water pistol holding little bear, huge ratings. Doctor Who. Anyway, that's all I'm saying on that one. Forbidden Man saying he's looking good for 77. Izzy Wizzy, let's get busy, says Rick Storm. And did I say this one? Sooty for Prime Minister from the Meddling Funk. I think I said that one.
Have you ever seen Goody's Rule OK, the one with the giant Dougal? And in that particular episode, Sooty is the Prime Minister. It's absolutely brilliant. He's on Nationwide. It's hilarious.
Stephen Braddock's pointed that out. I'll never forget Sooty on the goodies on Nationwide as Prime Minister.
Yeah. I hadn't seen that because I can't see the chat on my phone here, so I didn't see that.
No. But you know what? Stranger things have happened in reality these days.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the first. It wouldn't be the first Prime Minister that's really been somebody else's puppet, though, would it? Really? If we're honest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There's a great bit in it where I think Michael Barrett from Nationwide's on it, and he whispers in Michael Barrett's ear. He said, "What's that, Prime Minister? You want to play your xylophone?" It's like.
John is saying you can be sure someone had a hand in his success. Yeah. But we thought that was funny. Hello, Glenn. How are you? Happy Sunday evening, all. Love your Silurian there, Third Doctor Ian. Looking forward to tonight's stream. Well, thank you, Glenn. Thank you. And Edward's asking, is it tomorrow, the Superman review? It's not sort of a review. It's a sort of, are we going to recommend it or not to you? Yes, it's tomorrow at 8:00. So if you've been to see Superman 2025, then come and join us tomorrow night, 8:00. Because Kirsty and I will be looking at and sharing our thoughts on the film. And then we'll be deciding whether or not we're going to recommend it to you. I'm not sure yet, actually. I'm still not sure. But anyway, come back tomorrow. Yeah, good to see you. So yeah, it's thanks everybody for joining us. That was that little bit here. I want to move on now to some art. Because as you know, guys, we get a lot of art sent to us here at Who's Views, which is great, fantastic. And I want to say a big thank you to Problem Being, who has sent us some of his latest art. Take a look at this.
Oh, lovely.
Love it.
It's good, isn't it?
Really nice, yeah.
Really got
Sea Devils and Warriors Gate, very nice, yeah, lovely.
Yeah, Warriors Gate and the Sea Devils.
Yeah.
I think it would look superb in a comic strip.
It really would, yeah. Or an animation, the further adventure of the third and fourth Doctor. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. But no, thanks for you then. Hey?
Evoked for me a little bit of the feel of the Junkyard Demon art in Doctor Who.
Oh, I know what you mean, yeah.
That's what I said. That's what I said when he sent them through. I thought, I love that, and that's what I went to. I thought, oh, Junkyard Demon. We've got some nice comments here for you as well. PB Meddling Funk saying, love those. These are well good, says Graham. Frankie is saying, art, we need to take heart music. We can't, because copyright checked it.
You can't hum it even, can we?
Legion James saying, oh, wow, loving those to PB as well. Forbidden Man, well done to the artwork. It's good stuff, isn't it, viewers?
He's really captured the likenesses of both Pertwee and Baker, without a doubt. Really good.
Yeah. Well, Matt's saying something about the third Doctor looks weird and 4 looks moody, which is about right, actually.
Oh, yeah. Well, certainly Warriors Gate, and then season 18, he's got that slightly gaunt look about him, hasn't he? You know.
Well, he was ill, wasn't he, poor old Tom?
Yeah.
But there's definitely a difference to the season 18 fourth Doctor to any of his previous ones, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that one day. We will talk about that one day. Because we're going to do a season 18 overview at some point. But there you go. And Problem Being Himself in the chat saying, thank you, everybody. Thank you, chaps and chapettes. But it's great work, mate. So well done. Thank you for sending that in. Thank you for sending that in. Really appreciate it. Yeah. Right. So after all that, let's look at some crappy art. I mean, some new merchandise, shall we? Because have you noticed, did you see this week that BBC Studios are releasing a brand new range of Doctor Who merchandise? Stand by your beds. I'm sure you're all very excited. I know that I was. Have you seen this?
I haven't. No, this was a surprise to me. So
it features this.
What the hell is that?
It looks like very bad wrapping paper to me, but these are the 2 designs they are now pushing in their new Doctor Who merchandise range. So you can see there they've got every logo under the sun on the left-hand side. Yeah. And then on the right-hand side, they're supposed to be obviously VHS cassettes, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be...
How they dare put Kablam next to City of Death, I don't know. But why is Kablam there twice? I mean, it was shite once. We don't need it twice.
Well, it's lazy because they've also got Day of the Doctor on the right-hand side there on the bottom. But if you look on the third one on the right-hand side, you can see it's on the bottom and the right-hand side. They've just cut it down.
Yeah, of course.
What gets me is my pedantic selfie is who recorded Blink on VHS? I don't understand. And it says DVD at the top. It's clearly a VHS there, isn't it? You know, it's not...
Yeah, well, they're all supposed to be retro VHS. But anyway, if you're interested in this, let's have a quick look, actually, shall we, to see if you have been interested in this. Oh, look, no. No, there isn't anything there. Oh my gosh!
So what is this meant to be promoting then? Why is
this
it being...
This is their new. Oh, here we go. Look, here's Domgo saying about this merchandise that no one wants or cares about. Nobody asked for. Yeah, this is their new branding. This is not branding. This is their new merchandise. I'll show you what they're going to be using it for in a minute. Domgo's saying that. Anybody else got anything? Yes, Robert Payne. What's the point of that merchandise? Graham is saying, what is that? I should have made this into a competition. Start guessing now what you think you're going to use this for.
Well, who is it aimed at? That's the question.
Doctor Who fans.
Who? Where are they? Where have they gone? They've gone away, haven't they?
Yeah, they're going having lives. Looks like VHS tapes. Terrified Monk. You're right, they do on that one there. We've got PTA saying, "Oh no, here comes BBC Studios. Run, folks." Edward says it could be used for new toilet paper. You're not wrong.
Is this supposed to be like posters or mouse mats or combination of all the above? Or
exactly. Yeah.
So we're going to see it everywhere, aren't we?
Well, I don't know if you will. It depends if you go looking for it, really. Marjorie's saying, JT, you're right, it's crap. Graham's saying it's ugly, it's amateurish, it's childish, and it's unpleasant. It fits the new series perfectly. I wish they'd do what they used to do in the old days, where say, right, there's your classic stuff, there's your original stuff, and there's your new series stuff. But now they're meshing it all up together, and I don't like that personally. I would like to see a division again, because I don't think I want to know anything about the new stuff.
Isn't mentioning the old stuff, JT, isn't that nostalgia?
Oh, of course, it very well is nostalgia. Mr. Gates won't like that, will he?
It's capitalized on the successful part of Doctor Who, not the crap. I mean, the recent series.
Yeah. Robert is saying to us, Robert Payne, mate, only those Bad Wolf hates tapes are told. I don't know what's this. Only those Bad Wolf hates and told not to watch will know what a VHS was. This is weird because actually just earlier this morning, Robert, I was listening to an interview with somebody from the music industry on the radio show. And they are surprised, not with the resurgence of vinyl. they're delighted with that. But the resurgence of cassette tape, and apparently some youngsters are digging out or finding Sony Walkmans, and therefore buying very, very overpriced new albums on cassette. They're gonna wonder what to do when the tape spills, aren't they? You know what I mean?
They're going to need a Hughes pencil to spin it round like that.
They will. Because they won't know what to do. They'll have to go to their mums and dads, and some of them won't know what to do. But they were talking about this, saying that the rise of the cassette is stunning to them. And then he went on to say he wouldn't be surprised if a VHS tape is the next. And I just don't, because some of these youngsters are obsessed with retro. And that got me off thinking, well, if that's the case, they've got it wrong big time with Doctor Who. Yeah. Because they've tried to push it into progressive areas, or what some people would say woke, because they think that's their audience. Well, and that's part of the reason I reckon that some of these kids don't like this, is because they're looking at original Doctor Who as retro, and then they get involved in stories and stuff. So that's probably the way to go in the future. Yeah, you know, it's interesting, isn't it? But they're now buying cassettes as well as vinyl.
Do you remember when you had a cassette and it got stuck in the machine? You had to pull it out, and all strings and strings of tape coming out.
It went like a concertina sometimes, didn't it?
Say that again.
It'd go like a concertina sometimes, wouldn't it? And you had to get a splicing kit with a blade and the special tape to cut it out and link them together.
I just did it with sellotape. I remember a couple of times.
Did you? Yes. Did you? I used to hate that when it went like that. You know, I just used to throw the thing out. But you know, we spent. Looking back, it was part of the growing pains, wasn't it, for us all? Hours with the pencil.
Yeah. Well, do you remember before video recorders came in, you'd do audio recordings of Doctor Who, so you'd listen to them, and then you'd on a C90 or whatever, and then it would break. You'd have to fix it, you know. So I would fix those ones.
Yeah. Lots of chat about this. I'm going to show you now what they're going to be doing with it. But Legion James saying, I honestly love when they promote new merchandise for New Who. Nice reminder of how much money I wouldn't be saving by not buying it. Yeah, really is. And hello, Rose. Rose Kirby's with us, reminding us that today is the happy Apollo 11 moon landing day. Happy Moon Day. It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Hope you're all having a great Sunday, and hope you had a nice ice cream day. I didn't actually, because I wasn't in the mood, because it was peeing down. It is now as well, actually, by the way. It's come back again, so I wasn't in the mood. Has to be a nice day for me, I'm afraid, Rose, to have an ice cream. But it's good to see you, lovely. Right, so let's have a look and see what all that nonsense is about, shall we? Because I know you're all dying to know, but here's 2 examples of the merchandise that this stuff is going to be available on. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Go.
Yes, we're ready. Oh my God. So I won't be buying them either. That's we've said in the chat are correct. I'm not buying those. They're awful.
There you go. And what I'm showing for the podcast is I'm showing a model wearing a 90s sort of, well, I used to call them, gig hats, because they were made of cloth, and you would take these cloth hats down to whatever outdoor gig you were going to, and then there's a shopping bag.
Why is on the hat, why is the diamond logo the only one that's upside down?
No idea.
Just to annoy us, Ian, probably.
Yeah, it's the best bloody logo there, and they put the sod upside down. It shows you that they know nothing.
Yeah.
Mind you, I thought that was upside down. You know what? Half of the Eccleston one, haven't you? So. Yeah.
Not getting much love for this in the chat though. So you won't be rushing out then, Who viewers, to spend your hard-earned grotsits on any of this, will you? Really? Oh no.
Do you have a price for these?
No, I didn't even bother to look.
Right,
you know what I mean? But if you want to get it, you can get it from all the BBC. You can get from all the BBC social media. You can get the link.
Someone must have been up for about 5 minutes working this one out, surely. Were they not all night?
Yeah, I mean, it's again, for me, it just shows that the merchandise has been very, very dodgy and very, very poor for the last 10 years.
And who's going to buy that? Who's it for? Who's going to buy it?
I don't know.
Their preferred audience doesn't buy merchandise, though, does it?
No. Well, they don't even watch the show anymore, do they, really? Is it buy one, get one free, says Edward. Even Arkwright from Open All Hours would struggle to sell that, said David B. The poor
More
model
landfill again.
Yeah, the poor model should sue, Jason Parker says. They're not learning their lesson, though, are they, really? At all. No. It's almost like they are doing this on purpose, being serious. Who on earth will buy rubbish like this, says Graham. And Paul Rose wants to know, JT, how much does the BBC pay you to wear those hats? I may be interested. I don't know about that. And PTA saying to us, that hat looks like a Snickers wrapper. Well, there you go. This one from Paul Rose is interesting. Look, JT, they released a promotional VHS for Alien Romulus. It's nuts. Did they?
Really?
How did they play it, though?
Perhaps it's
I've still got a VHS in my loft, but
you still got yours?
Still got one, yeah. Well, one of them, yeah. So
I've got the Trial of a Time Lord VHSs.
No, I meant the machine. I've not got any of the VHSs anymore. I've got the actual machine. I've got a couple of VHSs like Myth Makers and stuff like that, but not anything. I upgraded eventually to the DVDs, you know. But
Killbot Kills well is saying, I have a Doctor Who The Ark in Space Laserdisc, a format that needs to come back. Yeah, I think they're going to try everything to try and make money.
That's one giant coaster you have to use it for. But
yeah. What have we got? Look, good to see you all here, everybody. Thank you so much. We've got Philip Roy saying, I heard Liam and Noel got Oasis back together when they saw that merchandise, that hat merchandise. You know, they've made a fortune, haven't they? Not just from the ticket sales, but from the merchandise. Absolute fortune.
Not as much as the ticket people, though. They made loads, haven't they?
Yeah. I bet the BBC wish they could earn that much from Doctor Who these days. And Jess is saying, thank the heavens, I'm so lucky to have a fantastic graphics team, design team. Jess, pitch to the BBC. Get some new ideas for them. Go on, do it. Get to BBC Studios. Digby, thank you for your super chat. Dear God, the rubbish merchandise is a perfect metaphor for this era of the show. It does seem to all go in hand, mate, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Really tough.
The bizarre thing about the whole thing is they keep releasing stuff when the show is not on air. It doesn't make any sense. Well, they should try and bring it out in tandem, surely, to try and capitalize on the merchandise. You know, like they used to do with BBC picture packs, and they'd say, buy the photographs at the end of Leisure Hive or something like that, and you'd be able to promote them on the telly. It's daft, isn't it? Really?
It is daft. But, you know, if you like the look of this merchandise, go to their pages and have a look at it, see how much it is, and then decide. I just thought it was more tack. I'd like to say hello to my mate Chester, who's joining us. Hello, Chester's Reviews. How are you? Chester was the first chit chat I did when we started the channel a couple of years ago.
I remember watching that one. He's very charming character.
He's a lovely character. Yes. Look, good to see you, Chester. Thanks for tuning in. There's a lot of people who buy physical for the collection but stream instead of playing it. Really? That's interesting, isn't it? It takes all sorts to make a universe, though, doesn't it? You know?
It does.
But as we always say, guys, you really have to have the physical copy as well, just in case the streaming version disappears or gets tampered with or something. You know,
but it becomes unavailable. Yeah, exactly. I have an extra copy of Only the Child just in case. So.
They should have gone all in and made a shooty skirt out of that material. It'll sell as well as the bucket hats, says Craig Dunlop. That's what they're called, bucket hats. We used to call them gig hats. It was the only time we'd wear them in the summer when we were going to a festival or something like that in the 90s. But there you go. So yeah, if you're interested in those, it's not just those. There's lots more with the design on that you can go and get, and apparently more designs to come. So there you go, everybody. There you go. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. He's spending his money already, isn't he? So yes, there you go for that one. There has been some good news for Bad Wolf BBC Studios this week as well, in a sense. Yes, because remember a few weeks ago we were talking about how Andy Pryor, the casting director, had put out on his Instagram basically a sell on his Instagram to the Emmys, hadn't he? Put out an Instagram thing saying, oh, it's the most inclusive show. And that was the last sell, wasn't it? Doctor Who, blah, 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 inclusive. Because obviously that's what the industry likes to hear. They are all about this DEI inclusion stuff, aren't they? Right. Mm-hmm. And I just always thought that wording at the part of that end of that presentation, that sell, that plug for Doctor Who that he'd worked on was just thought, oh, come on. Seems to have worked, though, because I'm sure you all know. This week, the Emmys in America announced that Doctor Who has indeed been nominated for Outstanding Choreography for Scripted Programming. I mean, that is a bloody insult to me. I'm really quite annoyed about this. Thank you, Emmys. Outstanding Choreography. What is this? Strictly Bloody Come Dancing? I mean, come on.
Well, it could have been worse. Could have been best actor.
But it makes no sense, does it? It's not reflective of the program. It's like Match of the Day getting an award for best costume, isn't it? It makes no sense, no relevance whatsoever. It's crazy.
I looked at that and just thought that's probably not what they wanted.
No.
They probably wanted something like best series, or best. I don't really follow the Emmy, so I can only imagine they do a best series, or even a best British series. Now, the reason it can be nominated, in case anybody asks me for an Emmy now, is because it's part funded by Disney, so therefore it's classed as a part of an American show.
Yeah.
So they would have pushed the Disney side of it more than the BBC side of it. But this is why it's never had an Emmy nomination before, because up until recent times, it's been purely British.
But this is only category that can come up with is actually any good. Surely there must be something else, or maybe not. I don't know.
I'm really, really quite peed off about it.
It's not going to be script writing, is it?
No, it's not that. That's for sure. Yeah, or incidental music or whatever. Yeah.
And it's interesting they didn't even get effects, because I imagine they would do special effects.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you guys think in the chat about this?
Everybody's doing what they're doing with special effects, so aren't they? They're not standout special effects, are they? You see them everywhere now.
Yeah.
So they're not setting themselves apart from anybody else. No. They're just copying stuff.
So they're going to get in the best choreography category for the tacked on bit at the end of The Devil's Board. I mean, really? I mean, what? Really?
Yeah. Well, this is what gets me, because I look at it and I just think, best choreography. Strictly Come Dancing, Fame came to mind. Do you remember the old 80s series, Fame?
Yeah.
And I look at all these things, because you see, don't you, about all these shows from America and films that have won Emmys in the correct categories. And I just think, Doctor Who, Emmy for choreography. People that don't know what Doctor Who is going to be, it's been nominated. They're going to think it's some sort of musical.
Yeah.
I'm so annoyed by this.
Yeah.
I'm very embarrassed on behalf of all of fandom, the same parts of fandom, because of course there have been certain fans that have been going on about how brilliant it is. It's not good publicity at all, and I'm sure it's not what they would have wanted. Absolutely sure.
But there was no logic to that scene anyway. When they do that song at the end, there's a twist at the end, and there's all the dancing. There was no logic to it at all. It's a fantasy universe. Oh, really? Yeah.
I feel though it smacks of desperation in a sense, or just even that lot over there in that Britain thing, they're getting on our nerves. Give them some sort of nomination. And somebody said, "Oh, there was an advert with there was an episode with a drag queen in, and they sang and they danced. Oh, that'll do. Then nominate them for that."
Well, it could have been best drag performance. That would be the other category,
So the other category for that. Let's have a look.
They may have. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
I see what you're saying in the chat. Chester's saying to us, must have not been a lot of musical competition this year, obviously.
He's right.
Yeah. Cody's with us saying, so inclusive, unless you're a straight weight male. Exactly. WTF says Marie UK, it's not a bloody musical. Yeah. Paul Rose saying, oh, please, there was nothing outstanding about this series. No, well, it's even the first one, wasn't it?
Yeah, but there's nothing outstanding about that either, to be honest.
No, both bloody awful. Terrified Monk have been saying it from day one. Doctor Who needs more dancing in it. Farsight, just what I always wanted my favourite TV show to get an award for. Exactly. For all the love that's holy, says Enspiel. Outstanding choreography, bit of a reach there. I just remember, having to reach for the sick bag again, honestly. What else we got? Box ticks, said Bill Lowry. This is all desperate as well. This is all part of the gimmick to try and get the investment to stay in the show. It's so sad. That's what I think. Craig, what are you saying to me? And the award for the most vomit-inducing TV drama goes to... I like that one. That's great. Frankie is saying Dancing with the Stars is up against it, I'm guessing. Oh, well... Guess what's
Dancing with the Stars is going to win, surely. You like to think.
It would have to, because it's a bloody dancing show for choreography, surely. Outstanding choreography. Can you imagine that in the 1970s? What has happened to our show, says Graham? The Loonies got hold of it.
Yeah.
It's sad, isn't it? It's really sad. This is the series that brought you Evil of the Daleks. This is a series that brought you Spearhead from Space, The Demons, Genesis of the Daleks, Caves of Androzani, Talons of Weng Chiang. Choreography.
Do you remember? I think he's from the back of the target books for season 11. I think that season got, I think, the Writers Guild Awards and BAFTAs for the writing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was so good. But now it's like choreography, really?
It is scraping the bottom of the barrel, literally, isn't it? I'm sure it's not the one they wanted, and I'm sure it's not the one Andy Pryor was pitching the show for, and some of the because
it was best casting director he wanted, best casting on. That's what he wanted. Yeah.
But the thing is with the Emmys that they must have been working, all of them, at Bad Wolf and possibly in BBC Studios to get it in front of the Emmy people, because I don't think any of them would have registered Doctor Who.
Yeah, well, like Doctor What? Is it a medical series? What is it?
Yeah, that sort of stuff. Hugh Janus, thank you for your super chat. They had to think of a really vague and niche category that nobody else would get nominated for. Exactly. But I don't know what else is. I don't know what's else out there. I should have looked at the category, but I was just so sort of tense with this. I thought, I can't be arsed. Yeah,
but hopefully we can celebrate when they don't get the award. So that'll be good. So, yeah.
JWC is saying to us, it's telling that it's not been nominated for script or acting. Unsurprising, not. Paul Schlafter, like it's going to win. What a load of nonsense. And Philip Roy, to be fair, Sooty hot-footed his way out of his contract. Good point. Dancing around in Doctor Who. Yeah, that's how goofy it's gotten, folks, says Sheriff Brackett. Yeah. John Mason would recommend it for Best Turd. And Jess, the Emmy Awards, or Emmys, are an extensive range of awards for artistic and technical merit for the television industry. A number of annual Emmy Awards. Disney is rewarding itself, said Marie UK. I don't think they'd be interested now, but we'll talk about that in a second. And Marjorie saying to us, outstanding choreography. This is participation nomination. It wouldn't surprise me if somebody's paid for the nomination as well.
Yeah.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
These people must live on another planet to the rest of us, says Dalek Eye. Well, I think I've been convinced about that over the last 3 years. Honestly. Just out of touch on all manners with reality. Honestly. Yeah. What else we got there? A lot of chat about this. Not in the good sense either. It's odd, says Squawk, that everything now is about inclusion when their target demographic is all about opting out. And Dalek Lives Matter says that's the gayest award. Well, wasn't that episode bloody awful though? You know what I mean?
As someone said in the chat, it wasn't Rogue that got an award for the best snogging scene or something like that. Yeah.
Some of the most hated episodes I've ever seen for me in Doctor Who have all been on over the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And thank you to Peter Fakeman fans. How are you, lovely? That's something that shows that Fame and Glee get nominated for. Yeah. Glee.
But there's more drama in Fame and Glee, isn't there? Let's be honest. But, especially Glee. Yeah.
Oh, God. I'm sorry. Glee. Ugh. Gilliam is saying Dr. Glee. Glee. Oh, my God. Oh, pass me the... Oh.
I actually quite like Fame in the 80s. Actually, the albums. I bought the albums at one
point.
So
have I. Yeah. Oh, Fame was a cultural phenomenon, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Here in the UK.
But mainly for the movie than the TV series, wasn't it, to be honest? But,
no, I think the TV series was massive. I remember it was on after the Pops, wasn't it? And on Thursday night.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Tyler Durden Smile, nice to see you. Not that I care, but who danced in series 2? Well, everybody in that bloody episode. Do you not remember the one with the drag queen? They all ended up singing and dancing for no apparent reason at the very end. Do you not remember? It was embarrassing. In
season 2 this year, they did do some high kicks and stuff. Remember, so some of that going on. So.
He was always doing that, though, wasn't he?
Yeah,
that was. Just, I mean, that's why we don't like it. Let's face it.
That's why he stopped working, because he injured himself doing the high kicks. That's what it was. Yeah.
That's why his knees went. And Hartnell's Ghost, Doctor Who should be in a category for most unresolved plot lines. And John Henson is saying to us, dancing Klingons for the dancing Klingon. Oh, it just annoys me. They're not taking it seriously. It's no reason that the show is.
But it's not for us, JT. It's not for us. Not for us.
That's true.
No, it's not for us.
We've been told that many
times.
And
it's not an Emmy; it's an enema. I could believe that.
That could be that they deserve an enema. That's for sure. Yeah. That'll clean them out. Yeah.
I just found the whole thing. I'm quite frustrated about it and quite angry about it, because I thought, 26 years of superior time travel television, which wouldn't be allowed to be nominated for an Emmy anyway because it was British. And then they push it for these two just to make them look good. So it looks good on their resumes. So it looks good in trying to get a partnership deal with more money. You make me sick, you lot. You really do. You've got no integrity. You don't care about the show. You're looking after yourselves. You're so typical. You really are. If you cared about the show, if you cared about the fan base, if you cared about the public, the general public of not just Britain now, but the world, to engage in it, you wouldn't tell them all to go and touch grass, or it's not for you, and you would make stories that were engaging. But no, you can't be bothered. It's all about you lot. You're so selfish. The Chorus Sci-Fi and Fantasy, thank you so much for your super chat. Evening, folks. I've still got all my original VHS tapes and was actually still recording right up to the 50th anniversary. I love that. I even have the after party on VHS, so never mind. You don't have to watch it. Also, you got blocked by RTD shirts instead.
Fantastic. Lovely.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. If you don't know what that is, this channel has been blocked by RTD from his social media. Not that we care. In fact, we are celebrating it. On our Who's Views shop, you can get a range of T-shirts that say blocked by RTD because we thought it was funny.
So does that mean when he came into the chat, it was really him? Fantastic.
Could have been. Could have been. That would have been hilarious, wouldn't it, really? Philip is saying, this proves awards are all fixed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And Paul Rose saying to us, JT, someone has definitely paid for the nomination, and probably before they decided to ditch it. Well, as we say, Paul, a couple of weeks ago, we did see a pitch from Pryor's Instagram. And what was that, about 4 weeks ago, maybe, that we looked at that?
Yeah.
Maybe a bit something longer. Just honestly, it's all about them, isn't it? All about them.
It really is.
Anyway, lots of you in the chat with us tonight. Lots of you with us. It's great to see you all. But anyway, that was funny. That was funny. And probably good news for them. And guess what? There is a little bit more good news for Bad Wolf. Because, of course, over the last God knows how many weeks, we've been reporting that Bad Wolf Studios, that mammoth complex in Cardiff, is dark. Which, of course, as we all know, is the theatrical posh term for no buggers in there. Yeah. And they've got nothing being produced. But there is a ray of light, as Madonna once said for them, because did you see this little tidbit here? Doctor Who production company backs Michael Sheen's Welsh National Theatre. Michael Sheen's Welsh National Theatre has partnered with Doctor Who production company Bad Wolf to support the next generation of storytellers. So this was a feature that was in the stage.co.uk. You can see Michael Sheen there with Jane Tranter, Sharon Gilbert and Kate Crowther from the Welsh National Theatre. And basically what's happening here is they're going to be using some of the Bad Wolf resources. So
they've got to get the red money from somewhere, haven't they? So.
Exactly.
Well, nobody else is using them.
Yeah. So at least they're getting something.
Isn't that the same thing that RTD was supposed to be getting involved in with new writers, but you could only do it if you were foreign or disabled or bisexual or trans or whatever. You could only, God forbid, if you were white.
Yeah.
He was doing something similar, wasn't he?
He was, wasn't he? And they do this whole thing as well with backing from the Welsh government, don't they? Where it's all about screenwriters of the future. You have to be Welsh, though.
Yeah.
I think there is another element to it, Ian, as well, where they do the what do you call this? The positive discrimination thing.
Yeah.
We have to be from a particular ethnic background because apparently white children have had enough.
They've been spoiled rotten, haven't they? Let's be honest.
Over the decades, yeah. But anyway, I just thought that was interesting for you all, that particular thing.
So they're going to be using the premises to do writing workshops and whatever, that kind of thing, and writers' rooms and things, trying to get people writing.
I think it looks like it's going to be part of the course that they're running, experience of production studios, including the lighting, the what we used to call the mixers. I don't know what they call them. The production, the gallery.
So they're learning about the process of theatre making and television making.
It looks like it. Yeah, as part of that and everything. And you know, those studios are big enough, Paul, as well. They could practically even use it as a theatre, couldn't they, to put on a show?
The thing about it is it'll be quite noisy, though, because they're dismantling the set as we speak. The TARDIS has been sawn up, isn't it?
Allegedly. I said that. Listen, Mark's just given us the super chat. Mark Greaves, thank you for joining us again. This is an update on something that Mark was telling us about yesterday. JT and Third Doctor, update from yesterday's show. Sarah's son is now in possession of my Pertwee Blu-rays. She wanted a show that they could watch together. Well, brilliant. What a great series to run with.
Lovely. Yeah.
Introducing him to Pertwee. That is fantastic. So thank you for that, Mark, and all the best. Paul Rose, Congratulations on the blocking. Yeah, we're happy about it. We don't care. We don't care. It's not. Who cares? And Jason Parker saying, "Yeah, blocked by RTD is the goal. What a fragile, tragic insect he is." Oh, we'll say what you mean.
I like that.
Yeah. Oh, and Stephen O'Neill, thank you for correcting me here. British shows can be nominated for Emmys. Upstairs, Downstairs was an Emmy in 1975 when quality television was made, like Doctor Who. I never knew that. I always was told that they couldn't. So maybe they just weren't, making it over there then, really. Because I was always told they can't be nominated.
Was Upstairs, Downstairs like a joint production with like American network or something like that?
A lot of ITV things were back in the 70s, weren't they?
Yeah.
And wasn't House of Elliot with the BBC production? I wish Gareth was here. He'd tell me he's a big fan of House of Elliot. But yeah, some of the. Let's look into it because if you've got the production money, they can be. So I don't know, but thank you, Stephen. Thank you for that. I'll bear that in mind. Thank you. Any more about that particular story we've got there for you as well? Oh, hello to who's this? This is Gaiden Freak. Ooh. Interesting. Hello, nice to see you. They'll be auctioning off pieces of the 15th Doctor's TARDIS in the future disco text Doctor Who adventure on YouTube. # bring on the wilderness years too. I think we've already brought them on, mate, to tell you. I think we're there. Yeah, the rumour, if you don't know, this week is that they have started dismantling the TARDIS set that was sitting in Bad Wolf doing nothing. And parts of it, i.e. I would imagine the console, are being put into storage. But even that's going to take a lot of money to rent, But yes, yeah. If you believe all the rumours as well, there was a bit of a falling out between BBC Studios and Bad Wolf about it. But it's all rumour, it's all speculation. And who are we to pass on rumour and speculation?
Yes. Well, so if they had an exhibition or something, if they actually were kind to fandom, we might go and look at an exhibition, but we're not interested because the console room's awful.
Who's going to go? I wouldn't be interested
at all. Anyway, Paul.
Of course, I forgot that, Ian. Sorry.
Yeah. Do you know, I would not go now to a Doctor Who exhibition. I'm not that, apart from the one in Peterborough, because I know what they push is everything from Whittaker and Gatwa, if it's not CGI. And I've got no connection to it. It's not special. I didn't watch Whittaker at all. Wouldn't know what any of her monsters are. So, apart from the main cast.
The Pating. Look out for the Pating. The Pating's particularly memorable.
Yeah.
They missed a catch options figure there. They really did. Yeah.
It wouldn't make. Well, they could have just done the little fat things, couldn't they? But what I was going to say.
That's also a good description for the Pating, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think a Doctor Who exhibition now would sell because the public aren't keen. They don't care. I don't think it would be profitable at all. We've got Domgo saying to us here, I have a terrible feeling. If Doctor Who ever comes back and it's under Bad Wolf and RTD, it will be Sheen with the thick Welsh accent.
That wouldn't surprise me, yeah.
RTD has ruled Michael Sheen out, saying no.
Well, if he's not there, you never know. So
I wouldn't want him because he's as woke as the rest of them.
Yeah.
That's
why he's likely to get it or do it, So
possibly.
He's in step with Tennant, isn't he?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, he is. He's got that same mindset. So again, I wouldn't be very thrilled to see him there. I would actually like it as a refreshing thing to try and find somebody in show business who's a great actor who's slightly right wing. That'll shake them all up, wouldn't it?
Well, even an actor that is a good actor that doesn't bring the politics into the show, that'd be quite good as well.
Yeah, as long as we don't care, as long as it's not in the show, who cares? Where? Nice to see you. Upstairs was on PPS, and Sheriff Brackett's saying the same. It was aired on PPS. Is that the Public Broadcasting Service?
I think so. Yeah.
One Doctor Who was on.
I think so. Yeah.
And there's Marie UK saying that Sheen hates the royal family and the British in general. That is always playing British and royal characters. Well, he'll take the money.
Yeah.
He was in that film about the Queen, wasn't he? All those years ago, which dealt with the death of Diana. Do you remember? He played Blair.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah.
Remember? So anyway, that was just another bit of news I had for you, everybody. So I hope you're interested in that one as well. Continuing a little story we had from last week as well, very briefly as well. It's not going away, and that's Ncuti Gatwa. Honestly, it's not going away.
Has he not gone away yet? Can you just go away, please? Go away.
It's like that thing you can't flush, isn't he?
Yeah.
Really.
If you're watching headlines last Sunday, as I know a lot of you were, thank you very much for your support. We were talking about how that particular morning on BBC television with that alleged reporter, journalist, presenter woman, Don't like her. He was there pushing supposedly this new Shakespeare play that he's doing with his colleague from the play. And of course, inevitably ended up talking about Doctor Who, and it was rubbish. You may have seen it by now as well. It was terrible. And he was sitting there like, gurning. And as I was saying last week, he was churning out the same script. As Paul mentioned earlier, he was talking about how his knees were hurting. It was so physical. He felt he was old, over it now. He was feeling old about it. Well, throughout the week, here in the UK, a lot of the actual physical newspapers and the online resources that they have picked up on that Sunday interview. And at this point, again, I'd just like to say to them all, thank you for watching. Yes. Good to see you all. Why don't some of you actually answer my emails and come on the bloody show? Well, it's journalists, I don't know. Anyway, yes. And this particular one, I just thought was hilarious. This one is from theindependent.co.uk. Ncuti Gatwa says he bonded with Matt Smith over exhausting Doctor Who role. The sci-fi star departed the show earlier this year after only 2 seasons. It goes on to say Gatwa, 32, whose other credits include Barbie and Sex Education, said that he and Smith spoke to each other about the highs and lows of playing the Doctor when they ran into each other at Glastonbury. Speaking to The Guardian, Gatwa said, I was just at Glastonbury and bumped into Matt Smith in a club, and we had a great deep chat about that job and how there'll never be another like it in our lifetimes. We'll never work that hard again, never be as stimulated and stretched. It's also very exhausting, so it's lovely to delve into other projects. He added that despite the toll the job took, he is still grateful to Doctor Who's passionate fan base. It's an absolute gift of a job and a gift of a community. He explained, yeah, the ones that are approved by the likes of you. And the Whovians are so deeply in my heart, I can't tell you. Now, what gets me about this, gentlemen, how many years and episodes did Matt Smith do it?
Well, he did, 3 seasons and probably double the episode length?
What did Gatwa do? 1 year of filming back to back with a couple of months off. And he wasn't even in all these episodes. What the hell? I sometimes think that people like Smith don't watch it anymore and feel that it's still where they were.
Yeah, there's no comparison between the two, is there, at all? No. Regardless of whether you like the actors or not, there's no comparison to the workload whatsoever.
Well, no, there isn't. So there they would have been complaining. Matt Smith complaining as he can do, not complaining as such, but reminiscing about the fact that he would have had to go from London to Cardiff, stay in Cardiff for 9 months a year.
Yeah,
3 seasons.
So he must have about 40 odd episodes, something like that. Yeah. So
plus 2 specials to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to curtail very quickly the supposedly arc they had to do because he was messed around by the production team of the time. Strange that, isn't it? And he was had to keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going in practically every episode.
And there weren't any, as far as I remember, any really Doctor Light episodes in Matt's era, particularly. Was there?
I don't think there were.
Yeah, there was, so.
Yeah. Lots of you like this particular topic as well. Push left it. No comparison. Matt Smith was brilliant. He was the Doctor.
People loved Matt Smith, didn't they? That's the thing. Yeah. So
he was popular. Matt Smith was a great Doctor for 3 years. Gatwa was never the Doctor. And let's bear in mind that the production schedule was different because Matt would have done 3 and a bit years, right? And he was messed around, as I say. So we actually missed a year of Matt because they split his 3rd season into 2. We were supposed to get another full series. He committed to another full series and they messed it around. No wonder he bloody well said, no more. I'll do you 2 specials, but I'm going. Yeah. No wonder. Good for you. And yet Gatwa had so many episodes, half the episodes, and they were filmed back to back within a year. There's no comparison. Smith was far more physical as well, I seem to remember.
Oh, yeah. Okay, he was younger than Sooty. Give him a break.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that.
By about 5 minutes. By about 5 minutes,
Yeah. Yeah. Lots of you talking about this particular one as well. You're all getting seeing what I'm getting at here, aren't you? Really about this. Thank you very much. Of course, Sci-Fi Fancy, another lovely super chat from you. Thank you very much. This is controversial, this one. How about Lawrence Fox as the Doctor then? Yeah, because I did say right wing, didn't I? I don't know if I meant that far right. Actually, Lawrence, he's like anybody else for me. Some of the stuff he says, I think, oh, shut up. And some of the things that say, yes, well done. It's like everybody else, isn't it, really? I don't think he's
entitled to an opinion. That's the whole point of the thing, isn't it? Yeah. So.
But they got at him as well, didn't they? Yeah. And Mr. Fox was always a really quite capable actor, I thought.
Yeah.
And he lost his career because he was talking some of the stuff that the left didn't like.
Yeah.
You know, including the whole trans thing.
Yeah, very much.
Didn't like that. He's had a rough time as well. Imagine Barbie Piper's face when they announced him as the real 16th Doctor.
Well, it won't move that much, will it? Really?
No, not really. No.
It's lost its animation over 20 years.
She's a bit like Sooty, we mentioned earlier.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
You're going to say a bit like Sooty, really?
No. Sooty the bear, we mentioned earlier.
Gatwa, Domgo wants to know, why is Gatwa still protecting RTD? Why can't he just say the show was shite, Disney wouldn't renew, and I need to make a living? It's pretty obvious that there's something else happened. It's because they didn't get that renewal that he said, well, I can't hang around. And as an actor, that makes sense. You know, could you imagine if Timothy Dalton had said, I'll wait for the next Bond film? Wouldn't have worked again, would he?
I would hate to think, though, that Billy's like a kind of marker for Sooty, right? Just to keep it there. And then they'll get a renewal from somewhere else and he'll come back and do it after he's done his theatre stuff, etc. That'd be awful. I hope that's not going to happen. And the reverse regeneration or something like that. You know, she's just there just to keep it going. You know, but
all they need to do, Paul, is forget it and get on with it.
Let's hope so. Just
bring the Doctor back in even if it's in the middle of an adventure a la Rose. That's all they need to do. Just bring him back, have him recognizable, have a decent actor there, and proper script, and bang, off we go. That's too much to ask for in this day and age.
It is. Yeah.
Marie, thank you for your super chat, my lovely. The less said about shooting on his knees, the better. So steady on.
That's naughty.
She's going to get into trouble, that one, I tell you. Keep an eye on her. Smith was very animated, said Austin Woods.
Yeah.
But I just thought that was another bit of fun. They ran into each other at Glasgow.
They ran into each other at a music festival and they immediately talked about Doctor Who. I'm not sure about that, really. I don't know if that's just...
I think it would have taken a bit of time.
Yeah. After a few drinkies, maybe perhaps, So,
yeah.
Or druggies, allegedly.
Allegedly. Don't go down that path.
Can you imagine them both getting shit-faced and Matt Smith just turns to him and says, you are shite.
Yeah.
But as I say, I don't think that these people that were in the show once upon a time watch it now. They can't do. And I do think that they're doing things out of thinking, well, it must be the same as how we did it.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's nowhere near the quality of the Matt Smith era, for example. Nowhere near it. But that's what I reckon it's all about. You know, because it'd be interesting to see, to an extent, if they ever did a behind the sofa of the Gatwa era for people that were in the show 20, 15 years ago. How horrified I reckon they could. I can envision something like Karen Gillan or Matt Smith sitting there going, you know, as he's going, yes, queen, and all that crap. Honestly, you know, high kicks. Ugh.
You need to do a Janet Fielding and Peter Davison version of that one. That'd be quite good, So
Mark, thank you for super chat, but I don't know if I should read that out. That's very naughty of you. Thank you for that.
Also, yes.
Allegedly.
Gosh. Yeah, I don't think we can read that out for legal reasons, to be quite honestly. Right, well, let's get on with the show then.
The imagination, though, would it?
Yeah, let's get on with the show because we have only just started the tip of the iceberg with some housekeeping basically there. Because now let's get into the big stories that we want your opinions on, everybody. Looking forward to this because it does seem that the BBC, BBC Studios, are very, very keen to keep Disney in the partnership. This week, the CEO of BBC Studios, who is this gentleman here, Tom Fussell, made a sort of, what's the word? Not press release example, but he went and made it known publicly what his feelings are. So this is Tom Fussell. Now, this is a name that in Doctor Who history, we will need to get used to. As I say, he's the CEO of BBC Studios. So he's going to go up there with the likes of Michael Grade, if you like, you know. And Jonathan Powell. Yeah, so it's going to be another one of those sorts of names, people that have affected Doctor Who's output. But let's look at this. There were a few people that covered this, including MSN and some of the broadcast trade papers, but I went for this one from Deadline. Doctor Who BBC Studios chief says Disney is key partner as co-pro deal hangs in the balance. So this is written by Max Goldbart. Let's get into this and see what you all think about it. BBC Studios is, quote, really committed to Doctor Who and is continuing to look at ways in which we can bring the show to fans, end of quote, according to its CEO, Tom Fussell. Speaking after the publication of the BBC annual report, Fussell stressed the crucial nature of BBC Studios' partnership with Disney, along with the strength of Doctor Who, coming with the BBC Disney Plus Doctor Who deal hanging in the balance and following eyebrow-raising comments from ex-Doctor Ncuti Gatwa over last weekend. Fans love the Doctor Who brand, Fussell said today. It's been that way since before I was in short trousers. Fussell celebrated Disney as a key partner of ours that works with BBC Studios on hits including Bluey, Dancing with the Stars, and Tucci in Italy. That's the actor.
Yeah.
And a great actor as well. And a decade's worth of natural history. They are crucial. They are a crucial partner, and we share a lot of the same values. So I'm really proud of the way that relationship has worked, he added. Doctor Who has been in the spotlight since RTD's regenerated second season of the sci-fi series aired to below par ratings and some middling reviews, leading to fevered speculation that Disney Plus will not extend the splashy co-pro deal beyond 2 seasons, which is currently up for discussion. Over the weekend, 32-year-old Gatwa told the BBC's Laura Kussenberg show he is getting old and my body was tired when queried over why he left Doctor Who after 2 seasons. While calling it the most amazing job in the world, Gatwa described Doctor Who as strenuous and said it takes a lot out of you physically, emotionally and mentally.
Try watching it.
Yeah. One of BBC Studios' strongest relationships with Disney is over Bluey. America's most streamed show, which BBC Studios said today helped drive record revenue and profit of £2.2 billion and £228 million, respectively, for the commercial arm. Fussell said BBC Studios' move to finance the upcoming Bluey movie, good grief, is one of the biggest investments made during his tenure. He pointed to other recent success stories, such as the £255 million acquisition of the half of BritBox International that BBC Studios didn't own. BritBox itself delivered big profits last year, driving a plus 40% soar in revenue for BBC Studios' media and streaming division. And Fussell said that the best of British streamer has a unique ability to help the BBC by acting as co-producer on shows like Ludwig and The Other Bennett Sister. Our mandate is very clear. We are there to make longer-term sustainable growing financial returns and to use the BBC's values as a way of doing that, he added. BritBox has that added advantage of being a very powerful route to the market for British shows, which would be very hard to fund if it wasn't for BritBox. More direct-to-consumer plays in a similar vein for BritBox or the power play to charge American audience for news content could be incoming soon, according to Fussell, with today's annual report saying BBC Studios is working actively to further develop direct routes to market as part of a strategy to establish sustainable growth for the business amid challenging trading conditions. Fussell acknowledged that what the BBC has termed a scripted funding crisis is a consequence of those challenging conditions and said the industry needs a bit of help to overcome the problem, which he added is not just limited to the drama genre. I would go back and say it hit kids and family first, then UK comedy. Now it's hitting drama and natural history is also a challenge, he added. Our job is to take risks and our producers are doing amazingly at pivoting our budgets to get them down a bit. Smart people are looking to pivot their slates to get them back into the sweet spot of shows costing between 1 million and 3 million per hour in pounds, because that's probably where you have to go. But even then, it's hard. BBC Studios returned £391 million to the BBC last year and is well on track to hit its £1.5 billion 5-year returns target, which we've talked before about on this show, by 2026 and 27, Fussell said. What do you think?
Well, I really want to quote Spike Milligan and call him a groving little bastard, because he's a bit like sort of calling to Disney to actually get them to come back and fund the show. But it's like there's no hope in hell they're coming back, surely, is there?
I'm not sure how Disney can straddle that bridge or that gap between continuing its relationship with the BBC over Doctor Who and whatever else, and also what we heard last week about how it was a key partner with ITV.
Yeah.
I mean, can't it just
they've missed the boat with Disney, surely, haven't they? So
you would have thought so. I mean, Disney can have working relationships with whichever company it wants to. It doesn't have to set everything in concrete. You can just say, we'll work with you on this program, we'll work with you on that program. It doesn't mean they have to sign contracts that tie them into everything forever. And they always make it sound like they're exclusive and everything else. Disney are everywhere.
Yeah.
I think this whole thing is very interesting because we've said before on the show that we know that BBC Studios are desperate to keep Doctor Who on and are desperate to have Doctor Who on next year in some form or another. I can actually personally at this stage see some sort of one-off TV movie coming in 2020. Where are we next year? 2026, just so they can say it's been on in 2026. God knows who would lead it. You know, you've got an option there to bring back a doctor, I suppose, to lead it. I don't know. But I can't see a series coming at the moment, although they really want that. A consumer, I hate that's his problem being. I totally agree. We're not consumers at all, but that's how they look at it, isn't it?
How would they do that if they're dismantling the TARDIS set?
Well, they'd just either not have the TARDIS in the show or do something else, wouldn't they? But that's just me speculating. It's just me speculating. You know, I wouldn't be surprised because they're so desperate to keep the thing going because they know at some point it can make money. They've just got to get it right. So this was very interesting. The other thing I found interesting about it as well is, and we've talked about this a little bit before, Bluey is getting a movie.
Maybe that's the deal, like they did with the TV show. Give us some more money for Doctor Who, and you can do a movie if you want to.
This is the other reason why I think that Doctor Who's need to have a film, a cinematic release, is well gone. It should have been done for the 50th. It should have been done before the 50th when people were still interested, because it's not going to happen now. You've got Downton Abbey 3 on the way in September. That's going to be pretty big. There's rumours that possibly the Channel 5 show, All Creatures Great and Small, could get a movie because it's popular. You know, there's the possibility of another British show that I know going to movies. We had what was it called? The one set in the north with the hats. That went to movies. I didn't watch it. What's it called? Not Rogue Traders. Something like that. Here, come on. It was huge. They had hats in it. Anybody? Come on. What am I talking about? I don't know the show, but it was a massive BBC show.
Blinders.
Peaky Blinders. Thank you.
Blinders,
They got a movie.
That's the best description. It had hats in it. That's superb.
I don't know what these things are called. I'm not interested in any of them at all.
I don't
it's like the 70s, isn't it? It's like the 70s when those UK programs always managed to make a film like On the Buses or
Are You Being Served? Movies, I think.
Thanks
as well and all that.
Thanks to Stephen O'Neill, Chester's Reviews, Dalek Eye, Cody W1, Duncan the Funky Evans. Who all said their Peaky Blinders? I can never remember it because I never watched it. I'm not interested.
Neither did I. Yeah, I didn't really fancy it.
But that got a movie. So there's all these things here. So if they got Doctor Who right, was there an option for the film? Do you know what I mean? Because I just still can't believe that everything else except Doctor Who got a film. And there's no way it's going to get a film now because it's just not big enough. If the fan base aren't going to go and see it, you know, and I think that's the other reason why BBC Studios have been putting Doctor Who on in cinemas.
To test the water, yeah.
To have a look at the return.
Yeah.
That's my personal belief. But this whole thing about this guy coming out from Tom Fussell here, the CEO of BBC Studios, coming out and saying these things about Disney. Again, for me, it's another sell to say, oh, we love Disney, we love Disney, we love it. He's doing his bit, isn't he?
Yeah.
After a very good annual report, which BBC Studios apparently have made money, why can't they do Doctor Who themselves then?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Do you understand it, Who viewers? Because I certainly don't. Let's have a look at that last slide again. BBC Studios returned 391 million to the BBC last year and is well on track to hit its 1.5 billion pound 5-year returns target. So that's returning 391 million.
Yeah.
Any accountants in the audience? Could they possibly allocate a few million to doing 4, 5 TV movies a year for Doctor Who? Could they? I don't know. It all seems a bit odd to me. Am I missing something?
But it does seem very odd, to be honest. It doesn't seem to stack up. It doesn't seem to make sense. And you're right, the time for when it was right to make a Doctor Who film and it could have been really successful has passed by about 15, 16 years. They didn't have the balls to take that step then. And because I remember Moffat was talking about it at one point, wasn't he? And how he'd insist on whoever the actor was at the time.
Yeah, like Don did.
Yeah. But
that's why it's important, Ian, to get the right lead character to lead the TV show. Because if somebody then does come along and say, "Oh, this is huge, we'll do a film," you've got to have somebody that can transfer from the show and take it with them to the film.
Otherwise, they'll do a Peter Cushing on it again and have somebody new to do it who's an international
also,
star.
They're going to draw the audience in, not the fans. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the public. They're going to draw them in to say, "Oh, there's a Doctor Who film. We like that Doctor. We'll go and watch it." You know, which we wouldn't get now because we've just had 2 spectacularly awful Doctors miscast in the role. Yeah, nobody would have gone to see a movie.
No,
of course you can't.
Like I said before, not even Paul Daniels would have touched it now if he was still alive. You know,
bless him. This is saying to us, Tom Fussell is Chief Executive Officer. Yes, he is at BBC Studios. Strategic Development Leadership at BBC Studios. Tom Fussell, BBC Commercials head honcho, raking in £774,000 total remuneration. Wow. So that's a lot of money, isn't it, to do it? And then she goes on to say the BBC's Diversity and Inclusion Director, Chini Okolido, cashed in $222,500 for her efforts. Anybody in a job...
money well spent, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Anybody that's doing a job about diversity and inclusion really needs to be made redundant.
Yeah.
But what's the point? It's good old-fashioned British value. If you can do the bloody job, you get the job. Give me now, please, £222,500. I can do it for you. It's as simple as that. This is what's going on with everything, because they dictate, these people who are usually activists dictate their belief on everybody else, and you have to follow it. Look at Stonewall in getting into bloody HR. I mean, that's ridiculous, isn't it? Ridiculous. Whoopie doodle do. It's Scott Andrew Brass is saying, I can't see what the fussel's about. And Sliver Wolf is saying to us, BBC and strategy, those 2 words don't mix nowadays. Challenging conditions, like the insane idiot you hired to write and run your shows, there's problem being. Yeah, you're right there. You are right on that one, eh? And Legion of James saying to us, yes, fans love the Doctor Who brand, but the past 2 eras have not been Doctor Who. They got it badly wrong. Fans have walked away, and RTD killed the franchise. Well, the fans walked away because we were told to.
Yeah.
4 or 5 times.
But Russell did destroy the franchise, definitely, though.
Totally. He just did that, didn't he? Marie UK also saying to us, can I bring that up? Can I get that on? Oh, this bloody thing sometimes really annoys me. There it is. Marie UK saying to us, don't fussle about and get to the point. And Woodhouse 122, the Bieber desperate to get streamers for their shows as they know the TV license is doomed. We touched a little bit about that last night. There's a story there. We're going to be coming back to that channel, so stay with us here on Who's Views. But yes, and they're so intent on working with the big partners like Disney to give them that worldwide platform, where I think the BBC should just get its act together through BBC Studios and do it themselves. Because if they've got all that back catalogue, if they're bringing in that sort of money, surely now that they've got BritBox as well.
The annoying thing about the whole thing is, even if they did it themselves, who they get to do it? And we've had our fingers burnt twice now with Jodie and now with Sooty. You know, are we going to give it another chance? I'm not convinced, you know.
No.
Well, I know we wouldn't really, would we? Yeah. I can't see many of our lovely friends in the chat giving it a chance. I can't see. I mean, a lot of our friends our age and stuff like that didn't even go back for Gatwa. Look at George.
Yeah.
Couldn't even be bothered, could he? You know, just say.
I wish we had him.
You know what, though? At least we met a lot of lovely people that joined us with those.
Oh, yes, definitely for that. Yeah, but I mean, just having to watch the episodes themselves was. I
know that was the 2 and a half. Awful bit, wasn't it?
The fun of the reviews made up for it, though. But
it did. Because I can't think the last thing I want to do is watch Shooty's episodes again. Honestly, I wouldn't consider it. Honestly.
Paul Schlaps is here saying what we all think. If the BBC wants to make money, make decent Doctor Who. It's as simple as that, isn't it, PS? It really is. Surely that's not too hard to do. I wouldn't have thought so. They know it's a money spinner, but get the main show right and back on its feet. And to do that, I think, Paul, they need to do a couple of years off, mate, where it gets a rebirth and it gets a new production team and it gets actual professionals in who aren't going to push agendas in it and give it time to heal with the public as well as the fans.
Yeah.
What's Chester saying to us? They always redo the TARDIS interior for a new Doctor anyway, so I don't see that as a problem. Well, Chester, you see, you're coming from it from a different generation. In our day, they didn't. You got the same London set as your predecessor. I've never understood this fascination they have with, oh, it's a new Doctor, let's change the TARDIS. It's because, you know, Moffat didn't.
It's a merchandising thing, isn't it? Really, no. Yeah.
Well, I don't even think that. What's been merchandised from the TARDIS? I think it's because wear of tear, and also because they just want to put their own stamp on it because they're egotistical maniacs. Yeah. Moffat didn't want RTDs. Chibnall didn't want Moffats.
Yeah.
And then they didn't want Jodie's because it was rubbish, and they had more money thanks to Disney to make a big discotheque. I don't know. I just don't see.
If you look at classic though, it's incredible. You know that they had the same set for such a long time in the same console till Inferno, and then they got a new console. The set was still the same for the Hartnell days, and so on and so forth. And then they just kept it because it was to the resources. Now they change it willy nilly, regardless of expense. Why don't you spend it on something else? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hello to Adamoth, who's joining us. A film under the current leadership would be a disaster. Of course it would, my friends. Yeah. Absolutely. I wouldn't go anywhere near it.
Well, Shooty's a big movie star, isn't he? He's in Barbie, so he'd be a great lead for that one.
Yeah, I reckon part of the reason he left as well is simply because it wasn't doing what he thought it was going to do, because it wasn't launching him in America like it did for Smith.
Yeah,
you know, because it's not that big now. We know that it's not even a cult over there anymore. You know,
but even if it was, he just didn't have it. He didn't have that undefinable something that would have made him a hit over there. I think it would have failed for him anyway, just as it would have done with Jodie.
He didn't have it over here as well. For us, he was not the Doctor. He wasn't the charisma, the character, nothing at all. You know.
No. But here we are with BBC Studios, as I say, with this annual report and all the talk around it. And again, it's just another pitch. Please stay with us, Disney. Please invest in our shows. Please.
It's like a begging letter, isn't it? To be honest.
It's quite sad in a way. Yeah. Rick Storm is saying, I think they destroyed the show on purpose so they could reboot it completely and then maybe get the movie options. But the problem is, Rick, with that, I understand where you're coming from, but if the television series is flopped, you're not going to invest in the movie because you've got to go and get the money. And if quite rightly, if these business people turn around and say, well, let's have a look and see how well the show's doing and what your return is from your merchandise, they're going to turn around and say, bugger off.
Yeah.
Aren't they? There's no way Doctor Who movies can replace the TV show now. It has to be, if they were ever to do movies, and I don't know if I'm actually keen on a Doctor Who movie these days, but it would have to be as an addition to the television series. And can you imagine now, under the way they can do it, if they're going to get actors saying they're too tired, you'd have to do it in between series as well. So that's another 3 months shoot.
I'm still waiting for an adaptation of The Chase. I mean, when's that coming? You know,
yeah. I wonder if he's watching us. I don't know. They've been talking about making a Doctor Who film since 1987. It's actually a lot earlier than that. We're going to be talking about it at some point on the show, so come and join us for those, because it goes back further than that. And John Henson is saying Bluey is popular in the US. RTD destruction of Doctor Who is a disgrace. They could bring back a classic Doctor, which most fans would want, then introduce a new Doctor. Well, obviously Bluey's a huge... I see Bluey everywhere now that I'm aware of him. He's everywhere. That dog, isn't he? I think it's a dog.
Oh, he's a dog. I was going to ask that.
Yeah, he's a cartoon. It's a cartoon dog. But everywhere I look now, I see this thing because I know him now thanks to the Disney thing. You know,
interestingly, Bluey. Interestingly, the colours used in Bluey are of such a tone and hue that your actual dog can see them and recognise them. So there's quite a lot of stories of people's dogs actually watching Bluey because they can see what's going on.
Really?
Yeah.
That's camp.
I must look Bluey up on YouTube and get my dog to see if that works. I'll get back to you on that.
I think that's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. And we've got some super chats that I'll read out in a sec. Thank you very much. Woodhouse122 saying BBC Studios would have to get overseas broadcasters back who they stabbed in the back when the Disney deal was signed. So I don't think they could do a standalone Doctor Who. That's the other thing they've got into consideration. We've spoken about that before, haven't we, Rory? About that.
It's back to their arrogance, isn't it? I mean, they just think they rule the world in televisions, But
yeah, exactly. We've got here from Third Doctor Andrew. The show, in my honest opinion, is only 26 years old, not 62, because everything after McCoy is not real Doctor Who. It's more like a spin-off. You know where I stand with you on that one, my friend. And Dalek,
you're trying to mention the time again, aren't you?
And Dalek I saying, where can they go with it after the stupid Billy Piper reveal? Well, that's why I'm saying you've got to ignore it, because it was just desperate. Frank Spencer would say, my license fee money. To an extent, yes, but don't remember BBC Studios is paid for by the selling of programs and all these other business interests they've got now as well. I'm gonna look at that annual report in detail because I want to know how they're making all that money. And Luke Davis, hiya Luke. David Yates from Harry Potter had a Doctor Who movie in development until Moffat shut it down. That was in 2011. Perhaps he's still interested. I don't think he will be, but he did. He did. Remember all the fuss about that as well because Moffat said no. No, it doesn't tie in with what I'm doing on the telly. You've got to have Matt Smith. There were too many T's and C's, and BBC Studios weren't even at that point really in depth with it. I think allegedly they'd had a couple of prior meetings with Yates to see where he wanted to go with it, what the tone would be, what have you. So they were interested, and then Moffat allegedly came along and said, "Oh no, you've got to do this, 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 and this." But that would have been the last.
Can you imagine if Verity Lambert had done that with Amicus back in the 60s? But she was a little bit more enlightened, wasn't she? And the BBC just let them. And anyway, it's a business decision. Moffat is only an employee running the show. He's not the person that owns the brand.
I think the thing about it is you have to not insult your audience. It can work perfectly well with a TV show and a movie separate with separate doctors quite easily. I mean, it's not a problem, is it, really?
If you just tuned in, thanks very much for tuning in. You're watching Who's Views. This is Headlines. It's your big show this Sunday. At the moment, we're talking about what the CEO of BBC Studios has said, implying that he really wants Disney to stay involved with the production of Doctor Who, i.e., please give us money. And he's really bigging up the Disney involvement. He seemed to move off the subject of Doctor Who fairly quickly, though, and turned it to a cartoon dog, which is the Bluey thing, we've been hearing now about Bluey for several years. I would say since 2022 with BBC Studios. That's their big show right now, and it's a preschool show.
Yeah, it's Bluey's 70th anniversary next year, isn't it? 70th, I think, isn't it?
No.
In dog years, probably.
In dog years, probably. I see what you said. But as I say to you now, it must be earning the BBC a fortune because everywhere I go, I see Bluey little action figures, cars for the little things, sets for the little things, sponges, towels. And then I look for the Doctor Who stuff.
Yeah. And I bet the Bluey stuff is flying off the shelves as well. I bet the kids love it. Yeah.
Well, it was huge at Christmas.
Yeah.
And they're quite clever because it's going to be an equivalent to Peppa Pig.
Yeah.
Who's a pig. So you've got a pig and a dog. So they're onto something there, haven't you?
Yeah.
And because
that's the next Doctor and Companion, a pig and a dog. There we go. Perfect. Yeah.
Don't give them ideas. They'd love that. Well, Bluey's going to be the new Doctor Who. Huge success. What we got here, Rose Kirby. Rose, lovely. What you're saying? Don't you think these companies just want to get more money? But if it fails, they can walk away. We bought making any sort of commitment for long-term benefit. I can understand as a private business they need to earn money. I get that. But yes, I think it's now all about the money rather than quality. And as Paul said when he found out about with Doctor Who, all RTD was interested in was content for the talkie tickets. That's not going to make you money. And look at where Doctor Who is now. It's in the toilet.
But that's a bizarre thing about it, because the business plan was crazy because they ditched all fandom, and that's where the money comes from. You know, like I said before, if you have a good show, a good core show, good merchandising, people like the show, they'll buy the merchandise around it. And that's
of course
madness. They didn't think like that. You know, it's like,
Well, I don't understand why they can't see that. Lex Kane, thank you for your super chat, pointing out that ABBA were right. Money, money, money. Yeah. I was playing that yesterday, actually, on vinyl. Still sounds good for my original album. And PTA, thank you for your super chat. I agree with you, JT. It needs a rest. RTD, no. It needs a good rest, I think, as well. I'd say a good few years. But the BBC Studios, Honestly, I'm hearing they want it on next year. Marie UK,
I mean,
Bluey's
if they push
UK
forward with it, it'll give us more content, won't it? If they push
Yeah.
forward with it, but I don't think it's a wise idea.
Yeah. Philip is saying to us, entertainment these days is just a mirror image of the way the world has gone. We are all doomed. Yeah. We've got John Roberts saying to us, Bluey is made in Australia. My grandsons love it. See, the kids do. Honestly, John, you wouldn't believe it over here. I see these kids running into, I think it's called Toy Town or something like that, one of the toy shops, because they've always got Bluey in the window. So what do the little ones do? They have to go in.
Yeah.
And they're always so excited when the Bluey toys, these little action figures you can get of Bluey, and what I think is his family, and then all these characters you've got, and little cars and even boats and trains and all these sorts of things. They love it because they're children, you know.
Yeah.
From my idea, though, something like that should be introducing them at around about 5 or 6 to Doctor Who, where they would then go and buy the action figures of monsters.
Well, we're going to get the cartoon CBeebies thing, aren't we? And that'll be the window, won't it? Yeah.
That's the other reason they're going to go ahead with that, because they'll be thinking of the merchandising in a similar Bluey way.
Yeah.
They've already got these stupid little squishy figures. Have you seen them for Doctor Who?
Yeah. If they put Sooty in the window, it'll be like a crucifix to a vampire, won't it? It'll be coming at the shops, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Thor Behind, thank you for your super chat. Suggest no other streaming partners are interested. I couldn't confirm or deny that Thor Behind, because I hear rumors. I hear a rumor that as possibly could be the truth because of what this CEO has said for BBC Studios this week, that they are still trying to get Disney to stay in partnership with them. But I've also heard the rumors that they have now started shopping around. Should that be announced as falling down?
I'm surprised it's still taking so long to negotiate it, though. Surely, you know, that's
yeah. But if you were Amazon, if you were Amazon on Netflix, and you heard the bloke in charge of BBC Studios kissing the backside of Disney, you'd just give him 2 fingers and walk away, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose I know what you're saying, but show business, as all of them know that working it, it's a bloody fickle, Ian.
Yeah.
Honestly, and it's more backstabbing now than I've ever known it. And it's all about the money. It's all about the partnership. And they're all trying to be nice to each other, because at some point they may have to collaborate with each other.
Yeah.
It's a big headache. It really is a big headache. So I reckon they would all turn a blind eye and not even look at their own internal trade stuff, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? Because they'll be aware that Doctor Who's been with Disney, but they'll also be aware, if they've got any common sense at all, that Doctor Who's been a flop.
I'm looking forward to the BBC having egg on their faces when everyone turns them down. They deserve that, to be honest. But
just remember that here on Who's Views, with all of you guys here in the chat, we will be talking about this. We're going to keep on top of all the developments. This is going to be a very interesting year, I tell you. Tyler Durden, has there been any update on Doctor Who and the Scorpion? Well, the man himself, Phil, is in the chat, so you can ask him, because he's been very cagey with what he's releasing. Ask him directly in the chat.
Yeah, the bits I've seen look really good. Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, he did some casting announcements today, as far as I'm aware, didn't you, Phil? But I haven't been able to look at it yet, I'm afraid, because I've been busy today. But I think that was some more. But he's in the chat, Tyler. I hope he's still there. I hope you're still there, Phil, because you were there. So I put him. Yeah, Phil, tell him yourself if you're there. Would you mind? Mark Milford is saying, for Disney to stay involved in Doctor Who, they would push for control of storylines, casting for a global audience, and not just the UK. Disney would draw on its production assets to lower costs, and that's something that the BBC Studios, of course, would say no to immediately. No.
Yeah.
That's always been the negotiation point, but it has to be the British element to it as well. So let's see what happens. Let's see how far they're going to fall. G35 is saying Blue Peter is being presented by a dog next, I hear. We're just ordinary men. We're just innocent men. Yeah, this is true, but it's not what you might think. This is Hacker. Hacker the dog has joined the BBC children's television show Blue Peter. The longest
Hacker's
running.
Very funny. I like Hacker, I have to say.
Yeah, the longest running children's television series in the world. Hacker is a hand puppet, although he won't like me saying that. From Wigan.
Yeah.
It's a very clever thing.
He's no Basil Brush, but he's very good.
Yeah. It's a different twist for Blue Peter. It reminds me of their origins, where they would try different things all the time. You know, back in the 50s. So good luck to them, and good luck to the fella that's doing it, because he has to sit on his back all the way down.
Yeah.
He actually, I forgot his name, but he actually built this seat, this very low seat. But his hands must get terribly sore with all these things.
Yeah.
But do you know what? He's very popular with the kids, so give them what they want.
He's quite cheeky, Hacker, isn't he? I think it's for last time I saw him. Yeah.
Well, he's from Wigan.
Well, that'll be.
And he likes pies.
Yeah.
Let's go and see what they're saying in the chat. So as Chester's review saying to us, over here the adults seem to love Bluey just as much, if not more in some cases, than the kids. I think you're right. I've got a couple of friends of mine who've got children, and they love it because they say it's so funny. I've never seen it because obviously I've got to work. But that's what you want children's television to be, though. You need it to be enjoyable by the adults too, because they've got to sit with it for 3 years as the kids grow up, maybe 4. Yeah. Bless them. Who's this? Kamikaze guy. Nice to see you. Welcome to Who's Views. As most people RTD to be the architect of Doctor Who's decline, can we ever realistically see the BBC getting shot of him, or are we stuck with him? Oh, that's a great question.
I think we're probably stuck with him, to be honest, which is a shame, really.
That's horrific, isn't it? To think?
And he's written season 3, 4, and 5, hasn't he? So it's a shame to waste all that, wouldn't it? Yeah.
But if they've said that he's not an employee of the BBC, they don't even have to get rid of him. They can just carry on working elsewhere and not even talk to him.
Yeah. Again, Kamikaze guy, it ties in with what I've said before on the show. I've heard that BBC Studios wish to retain RTD because they think he's the big Doctor Who I am. And we've said to them directly on the show, and I'm going to say it again, BBC Studios, no, he's not. He's killed the show. Get rid. You've got to get rid of him. He hasn't got the fan base with him. He's too obsessed with his agenda. He's now just writing stuff that he's been writing for 20 years, and it's got no place in Doctor Who. You need somebody that understands science fiction. And there's plenty of British people out there who can produce the show and script edit the show. Get a producer back in, get a script editor back in, and tell them you choose your races. Like we used to do. We don't need a showrunner because that's the producer can do that as well. Honest to God. Honestly. But that's a great question, Kamikaze. I hope we're not stuck with him. My fear is that we are.
Yeah. You think at least if they are going to stick with him, they maybe have more creative control over what he does, because they must see some pattern in what's happened with seasons 1 and 2, surely. You know, the decline in the ratings for a start, regardless of how you watch television. You know?
Yeah. There's lots of questions over this, isn't it? You know, and one day it'll all come out, as I say, but we really need to start hearing more about how it's all. And I understand that they don't have to tell us because it's a private organization, but for heaven's sake, surely you should. We've been supporting the show, some of us, all our lives, for Christ's sake. And I'm not talking about 15 years or 20 years. Some of the people have been supporting the show for 60 years. Just be honest and tell us what the hell is going on. Raymond is quite rightly saying Tom Baker's season 13 sold out on Amazon after a few hours. It took 48 hours before you could order from them again. Not just there, but also Zavi UK. And they got more in as well. So they obviously upped the production cost, the production releases, didn't they? Yeah. We'd love to know how many units Series 15 has sold. Bad seasons cost the BBC money.
Yeah.
Yep. And Plymouth Who's saying sorry?
Probably 7. And some of those were complimentary copies for Sooty and
the Steelbook on Amazon for Series 2 of Gatwa sold more than the standard edition versions on DVD and Blu-ray, because it's a steelbook and there's a collector's market for a nice looking steelbook. Doesn't mean that they're going to watch the episodes, but the standard versions, if you like, are down there in the hundreds.
Those 7, Ian, that were bought were probably bought by mistake, thinking they bought the Tom Baker season 15 by mistake. You know, so.
Can you imagine? It would go straight back,
and they sent it back.
Yeah, they would send it back immediately. Yeah. They would. Stephen O'Neill is saying that us Wiganers love pies. I know you do. You're famous for the pies down there, aren't you? In Wigan, very famous. It's great to see so many of you in the chat. Philip is with us. Philip Roy himself saying, hi all, Scorpion progressing in post-production. Seen a 15-minute edit with our composer's incidental music punched in. Superb synth feel and very 70s or 80s.
Sounds
there
lovely.
we go. Thank you, Phil. Looking forward to it, mate. Looking forward to it indeed. What else we got here? Luke Davis saying to us, Bluey is so popular because it's made with integrity and sensitivity to its young audience. Ludo, the producer, would be an ideal partner for any Who animation, as BBC Studios have just realised. Are you talking about the rumour? I heard the rumour that a particular production company called Ludo has pitched for this Doctor Who pre-animation thing. It's a rumour, so it might not be true, but it wouldn't surprise me because they've just had a massive hit for several years now with Bluey. Peppa Pig is the other thing that's still huge here as well. That's very funny as well, isn't it? I mean, that's why they're all focusing on children's television now, because you've had Paw Patrol, Peppa Pig, Bluey, just 3 recent examples. Sooty and the empire that Sooty's created over 77 years. Yeah. These are huge shows, and it shows you the power of children's television if done correctly.
I hope it's better than Web of Fate episode 3, though. But, that would be difficult, to be fair. Yeah.
Well, if they stuck Bluey in any of the animations, it'd probably get a bigger audience.
Probably, yeah.
I think anything they do, live action or animation, whatever age bracket it's pitched at, it needs to have some integrity and show some respect for the source material. But I've got an awful feeling it's like what Lex said earlier that you read out. It's just all about money, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think integrity will go out the window.
Yeah.
But they can't see the correlation between quality and quantity, or quality and crap, because they have to see that distinction, don't they, really, to be honest with you?
I might have missed somebody's super chat, to which I am apologising. It's probably Lex. If I did, I did. I got the ABBA one, didn't I, Lex? I don't know if there was another one, but the chat is going so quickly tonight. Thank you very much. I'll just have a quick look on this, see if there was another one there. Talk amongst yourselves for a second. It's very important. I don't want to miss anybody else. Can't see it, Lex, if it came through. I've got your ABBA one. Was that it? Was that the one you were talking about? Anyway, thank you. Derek Hart is saying RTD2 can't come anything original. Got to use his stuff before. Just change the plot or names, but it's the same base stories and uses classic villains, just make them CGI and ruins them. I'm going to add to that, if I may. Dalek Lives Matter is saying we could get Dr. Blobby with Noel Edmonds as the companion. Noel is doing very, very well without anything to do without the BBC over there in New Zealand. I'd love to go over and just go to his pub and stay in his lodges and stuff like that, because he's based in an incredible area of New Zealand. I've just watched this show. Noel, if you're watching, more please, because that show is just done for ITV. I loved every minute of it.
I've watched, since we mentioned it previously a few weeks ago, I've watched it now, and I will agree. It's really, really good.
Yeah,
it's really good.
I've not seen it yet. Yeah.
Oh, you've got to watch it. Everybody, you've got to watch this thing. Noel Edmonds and his missus down in New Zealand. It's a very short series. It's only about 3 or 4 episodes, but they're basically setting up this business in this amazing, beautiful landscape. It's stunning. But he's talking about all these things that in Britain people think he might be a bit loony for. But he's explaining what it's about and why he believes in certain things and what it does for him. And he looks fabulous. So there must be something in the life he's living.
He really does. I mean, he's in his 70s. Yeah. He's in his 70s, isn't he? But he looks like he literally looks like he did on Noel Edmonds' house party and stuff like that. It just has not changed. Or
I'll go back to Swap Shop. I'll go back to Swap Shop in '76 when he started Swap Shop for BBC One on Saturday mornings. He looks like he's just stepped off that set. It's amazing. But good for you, Noel. I'd love to see more of that show. I tried to find him on Twitter, and I don't know if it's him or not. So I haven't bothered to say, please have more of this. I'd like to see what you're doing next, and good luck with your season. What a guy. I really good. I love the fact that he's still got his helicopter and he zooshes all over New Zealand in his helicopter. That's the way to do it.
Our queen of the chat, our lady of the chat,
bless her.
Just pointed out to me Lex's other one. He did 2 very close together. The other one, which is a super chat for £2. Thank you, Lex.
I can't guess it because it won't let me. It won't let me scroll up that further. So sorry about that, Lex. I can't guess it.
It's the end for the BBC with Disney. ITVX has made all the deals with Disney. That's Lex's viewpoint. I don't think he's far off there.
Well, the thing is though that Disney can make as many production partnership deals with as many people as it wants to. So even though we talked about that one with ITVX last week, they could still work with the BBC because it's Disney. I mean, they practically own everything as it is.
Yeah.
You know, these people can do it. But anyway, there we go. So that's thank you for your comments on that. That's where we're up to with that with the BBC. It's very obvious that they're still trying to get BBC Disney Plus to invest in Doctor Who again. I'd be worried about it because we'll just get more of the crap. We'll get more of the same thing because RTD would be involved, and Bad Wolf possibly. We would get more nonsense with another face in the lead.
Just a rehash of what we had before,
it would just be Russell running out all this crap again with just another guy in the lead, and of course we get some sort of crappy resolution with Billy Piper.
Lazy resolution.
Wouldn't interest me. So thank you very much for everybody for that one. But that's what we've just been talking about there. I'll show you the headline for that one again from Deadline. Doctor Who BBC Studios chief says Disney is key partner as co-pro deal hangs in balance. And I think that's basically part of this big sell they've got with them and others to say, we want you to stay with us. We want your money. Yeah. PPS works with both, says Chester's Reviews. Disney can as well. Business deals, they're never exclusive. They can go wherever they want these days. There's no loyalty. Let's put it that way. Derek is saying to me, Derek Hart saying, I didn't know Noel Edmonds is in New Zealand. Thanks for the update. You can get it on ITVX, the episodes for there. Just type in Noel Edmonds and the episodes will come up. It's a joy. It's a very happy show.
It is. Yeah.
Love it. And his pub looks fabulous.
It's a great name for the pub, isn't it?
It's a great name for the pub. But I'd recommend it. Anyway, where are we going now? Oh, yes, we're going to our next story now, everybody, as well. Thank you for this. Why do we watch Doctor Who? You know, why are we bothering investing time in series that we don't like? We sort of touched on this a little bit last night in preparation for this. I've got this theory that in this day and age, more so now than ever before, a Doctor Who fan will be interested in anything, including that crappy merchandise we looked at the top of the show, just simply because it's got the logo on.
Oh, lots of logos in this case, yeah.
And I think that's the other reason that they use the diamond logo for the RTD2 era, because it brought back a certain feeling, a certain memory for those people of a certain age that they told, oh no, we don't want you. You can bugger off. No, it's not for you.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? And I think there's a certain amount of fans that will protect the Gatwa and Whittaker eras, especially simply because it says it's Doctor Who. But is it? And is it worth doing so? Gareth Roberts possibly doesn't think it is, because he's written this fantastic article now, which has been published in The Telegraph. Why we keep watching TV shows we don't actually like, he says. People will bend your ear complaining about programs past their prime, but cannot fathom just switching them off. So this was published on the 14th of July. We're going to go through this because I think he has a point here. Let's see what you think about this when we look at this. Actually, before we do that, Lex has just given us another super chat. So let me find that and get that out of the way now, because I'll lose this again. Here it is. Thank you, Lex. I pre-ordered Krull 1983 starring Freddie Jones, Toby Jones's dad, on 4K and Blu-ray. Plus, for Joyous fans, it's on IMAX in selected cinemas UK and Scotland. Thank you for that, Lex. Thank you very much. Good for you, Krull. I'm going to have words with you. Anyway, let's get back to this story then. What a load of... I was bored to tears back in 1983 when I saw it. Anyway, yes, so this is this article from the Telegraph. Let's get on with this. We've got this from the very beginning here. Okay, the new series of Dexter called Dexter Resurrection, following on from Dexter Returns. So it's a revival of a revival, and the little trickery isn't fooling anybody. It is, in fact, series 10 of Dexter, the story of a sympathetic serial killer. I bailed on Dexter midway through its second series, way back in 2007. Exactly how many more people can he dispatch? I wondered. Exactly how many more times can he nearly get caught very, very red-handed? Exactly how many more girlfriends can suspect the dreaded truth? The answer, a lot more than I or anybody else ever anticipated. Dexter is far from being the only unlikely long runner on the TV scene. At the other end of the spectrum, and just like that, The fluffy continuation of Sex and the City is into its 3rd series, with more on the way. And just like that is, by almost all accounts, unbearable. I know several people who bend my ear about just how unbearable it is. Then switch it off, I advise, blithely. But no, this simple, brutal act is one they cannot countenance. It's as if I've suggested pulling the plug on the life support machine of a family member. Why do we continue to watch television series that have outlived their prime? There are so many sagas that go on and on and on, and some, like those 2 examples, which seem to die before even resurrecting. Homeland lurched on sans Damian Lewis for another 5 series. The Walking Dead, incredibly, still thrives under a variety of guises. On our own shores, The Apprentice, Dragon's Den, and Doctor Who haunt us as mocking memories of their noughties heydays, with Silent Witness and Midsummer Murders stretching back into the mists of Neolithic man. Television programmes, younger viewers may be surprised to learn, once had the common decency to just stop, even when they were still wildly popular. Succession was the last hit, or at least hip show to call it quits while it was still thriving. The impulse to say, that's enough, let's do something else, seems to have evaporated. Any success in the much wobblier multi-platform world of this century must be milked beyond all sense. The article continues. I sometimes like to imagine favourite British shows of my youth dragging on in this fashion. In a parallel universe somewhere, the Butterflies franchise is still going strong, with a 91-year-old Wendy Craig torn between her husband and an affair. Plus spin-offs like Young Leonard or The Further Adventures of Adam, starring Nicholas Lyndhurst, 64, crashing his car and saying, "Bummer mum," or "Sorry," The Next Generation, as a CGI-rendered ghost of Barbara Lott haunts Ronnie Corbett's children in a post-apocalyptic universe. But you can tell it's written by Gareth. But we can lay all the blame for these everlasting, unkillable golden geese at the production end. It's us at home who encourage them by not switching off. So why does it take so much to make us stop? Why do we sit it out literally until the bitter end, or even until the show outlives us? It's not quite the same thing as hate watching a show of the so bad it's good variety, see Emily in Paris, which was knowingly terrible from the off. That at least is providing entertainment of a kind. No, we viewers often have strange idea of loyalty to a TV series, thinking that it is our duty somehow to watch them. I'd be the first to scoff at this idea. If I hadn't felt exactly the same burden myself, I'd find it hard to not finish a book, even if I've lost all patience with it, which I suppose is similar. But then a book, even a doorstopper of a book, is asking only to be finished and done with once. It doesn't demand that you commit for a long haul of many hours and many, many years, throwing new chapters at you every bloody week. I think a closer corollary is with romantic relationships. Like TV shows, these begin with novelty and excitement, but even if wildly successful, passion will decrease and thrusting lust turns to habit and the putting out of bins. You're given so much time, sunk so many costs, that backing out is unthinkable. I would be so much bother. Simply flicking a switch to say goodbye to a television show should be a lot easier than that, and yet still we feel an obligation. It took me 3 seasons of The Good Fight to finally throw in the towel. I lapped up the 7 runs of its predecessor, The Good Wife, and loved everything about it. Its gloriously eccentric guest characters, whip-smart legal plots, and its witty and intelligent take on politics and sexual politics. The Good Fight, by contrast, felt like a psychiatric crisis, eschewing all of that sophistication for a grotesquely skewish tantrum on screen and off about Donald Trump. But it still took me 33 episodes to admit this to myself. The thing cast a shadow backwards onto The Good Wife. Maybe what I'd taken for intelligence and insight might have been just nonsense. I resisted this because I couldn't countenance being made to feel like a mug to myself. And so I sat there, muttering and twitching, resenting every moment until my string finally snapped. The experience taught me that if the thought of abandoning a show flickers once across your mind, all is lost. The prospect of switching off, after all, never reared its head when I watched House or The Wire. When the seed is there, it can only grow. This fealty that we feel to TV shows is very strange. What on earth do we owe them? On the very few occasions I've bailed out, I've sometimes taken a curious peek at online synopses for the seasons that I've never saw, just to confirm I was right. And I usually was. I wonder which show he's talking about there. Junking a show with an active or focal fandom can be dizzying, as you then see that the audience looks like to normal people. I know several ex-Doctor Who devotees who shake their heads in horror at what they were once a part of. A TV breakup can be good glue for a relationship, perversely. A couple making the decision jointly can bring them closer together. There is the understanding that flashes between you as your eyes lock and you read the unspoken message, "I've had enough of this, cobblers." This happened to friends of mine during Star Trek Discovery and quite rekindled their fire. There should be a row of dots there. It can be a freeing moment for the individual too. I well recall watching Lena Dunham's series Girls. I convinced myself it was a fascinating insight to a world I knew very little about. I decided it was a good thing to be challenged, that my increasing discomfort was a sign that this drama was working as a drama, which should stir strong feelings. And then I watched one episode too many and I thought, why am I putting myself through this when I hate everybody in it and everything about it? This was followed by a joyous sense of release. But most TV series don't irritate us enough to make us turn off. I have a friend who has watched all 26 long seasons of Law & Order Special Victims Unit and has a love-hate relationship with it. It is never quite bad enough to repulse her, and she's become fascinated by its incredible length. Who are a matron. My attitude to TV now, though, is to try not to start in the first place, if I can resist, particularly when a series is all the rage. I am many times bitten, so forever shy. The ending of Lost burned me very badly, so particularly when a series is mystery box, packed with questions and riddles to make you thirst for closure, I avoid it, at least until it's over, and I can gauge the general reaction to how well it ended. I was tempted by Game of Thrones, but resisted for this reason, and it looked like I was right to. Waiting for a series to recover from a rough patch is similarly a mug's game. He's talking to us now. Nobody has ever said, well, in the end, I'm glad I stuck with that. Although a rumor is spreading that after decades of painful decay, The Simpsons is suddenly really good again. So whoever it was who stuck with it must be feeling a self-satisfied glow. But this is the only time this has ever happened. He's not wrong. Come on.
He's not wrong at all. No,
he's not. He's not, and he's a very, very, very good writer. He so coherently puts those right words to the right meaning and just hits it on the nail on the head every time, doesn't he?
I think sometimes when you stick with a show a little bit, you're afraid of missing something, aren't you? A little bit sometimes, you think, actually, if I stick in here, maybe we'll get better, but then...
I mean, there's a long tradition of it, isn't there? I mean, Porridge with Ronnie Barker, it was great, wasn't it? Everybody seemed to love Porridge. But then they did one series, didn't they, of when he got out of prison.
Going straight, yeah.
Going straight,
yeah.
Which wasn't that bad, to be quite honest, but it had to contrive a scenario where Lenny Godber was living with his daughter, and therefore when he got out of prison himself, he was there again with him, so it was the same kind of dynamic. And wasn't there an offshoot from Only Fools and Horses with a couple of the peripheral characters?
Yes,
as well.
Yes, with Boise and Marlon.
Boise.
Yeah.
I couldn't get into that.
Neither could I.
I think it died a bit of a death. But do you remember there was an American comedy that myself and my wife really enjoyed in its original run, Will and Grace, and they brought that back. And we watched a couple of episodes, and they got into the White House for some meeting, and it just became an anti-Trump rant.
That's all it was.
First time in office. And I thought, this is shit. And
it was.
Never bothered and never went back to it. And I think that died on its arse as well, which is probably the best thing for it.
Yeah.
But it's been going on for a long time, hasn't it?
There has. I'll just say very quickly now, there's a lot of conversation about Krull. Okay. I'm going to have to go back and watch it again now an adult, because when I saw it as a kid, I couldn't get into it. I just thought this is a really bad version of trying to be Star Wars. I didn't like it, but I'll go back and rewatch it at some point.
Is Bernard Breslow in that as well? Is he?
I think he was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So Lex is probably giving me something to do now, a bit of homework there. But thanks for all your comments about that. The thing about television,
he's angling for a Krull review. Clearly, that's what's going on.
The thing about things like Going Straight and the Boise spin-off about that is that there were others as well. Grace and Favor for Are You Being Served?
Yeah.
People realize fairly quickly, and I'd say within 18 months, with production 18 months, that people didn't like it. So it was gently pulled away from the schedules. Whereas now, as Gareth is saying there, they'll just try, this thing is popular. we can make money out of this. We'll churn it. He mentions Just Like That, which is the sequel, if you like, to Sex and the City. I was horrified to find out that those ladies were coming back to do the same thing they were doing as younger ladies in their 60s. I just thought, oh my God, you all look ridiculous. Stop it.
Well, I was horrified when they got 2 movies as well. Good God.
I've watched 2 episodes of Just Like That, and it's bloody awful because it's woke as hell. Because they've tried to think.
Doesn't one of them that's in it write it? The one that looks like the horse. Which is that one?
I don't know, but I can see why Kim
Jessica
Cattrall
Parker
said no,
allegedly.
thank you.
That's the one.
You know,
that's the one.
Kim Cattrall said no to this. She was by far the most popular character, Samantha, in Sex and the City. She made the show. So she's turned around and said, no, she's made a fantastic decision. But they keep churning it out for a minority. Now, this is the same thing that it's going to happen with Doctor Who. It failed big time with Chibnall, not to the extent it has done now, but they churned it out again. Instead of having the common sense to say, well, let's just leave it for a little while, as the plan was to do, allegedly. They churned it out again and gave it to Russell. And now look where it is. They don't, they're not brave enough to say things like, let's leave it for a while. I agree with you completely about Will and Grace. I loved Will and Grace when it was first broadcast. I've got all the original 7 series on DVD, because I was buying them at the time. And it's hilarious. I can't watch it now because, yes, it's dated a little bit. But because they spoiled it with the sequel series, which was just obviously anti-Democrat propaganda. And squealing live audiences of queens from the TQ cult. Obviously, I couldn't watch it. There were some elements that made me laugh, but they couldn't recapture the magic. And that's happening an awful lot now with the commentary coming through a lot of the shows. So I can understand exactly what Gareth is saying here in this article.
I don't think Doctor Who's going to do what the Simpsons have done, though. I don't think it's going to get any better.
No.
But,
I lost the Simpsons decades ago.
Yeah, me too. I think it went off the boil around the time of the film, which I did enjoy. But
I like the film. There's some bits that were quite funny. But
I've never seen the film.
I think Family Guy for me replaced the Simpsons in that respect.
I think for a lot of people it did because it was fresher, wasn't it? It was obviously a rip-off, allegedly, but it was. It was
a bit more rude than the Simpsons could ever be. That was the thing. But
a lot more nearer the knuckle.
We've got in the chat here. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry, JT. I just think with Doctor Who as well, there's an element of, it's like you're driving past on the motorway and there's an accident in the other lane. There's an element of rubbernecking.
God,
How horrific can this get? Because a lot of us love it as we do. We're rooted in the classic series, and this, we've tapped out of this, but we'll watch it anyway just to see what these people that claim, like RTD, to claim to be fans, what they're doing to it, which shows us that they were never fans at all and never knew the subject either. But just to see exactly how horrific it can get. And it makes for fun reviews, doesn't it? I mean, it's painful, but it makes for fun reviews. But
I can't believe I thought online the other day that it's 8 years since Jodie was cast as the Doctor, which is really scary.
Yes, it goes very quickly.
Where's the time gone?
Well, for us as fans, it's going to be a painful time to remember both that era and the one that's just followed it. But for the public, it doesn't mean a thing because they don't remember it. Occasionally you'll find somebody who will say, "Oh, the woman one," and I stopped watching. That's what I get from people. Tim Pins is saying, he's mentioned the Call the Midwife. Of course, that's the next British television show to get a movie, which BBC Studios is invested in financially as well as everything else. It's a BBC Studios movie with partners. So again, Call the Midwife has been going, as Russell is saying here, but apparently it's maintaining the fact that it's quality, which is why its fan base are happy. It's now coming to an end on its natural life on the original series, but they're doing the prequel series, they're doing a spin-off series, and they're doing movies.
The BBC would probably say we can't make Doctor Who too expensive to make a movie, which is really, I think they could easily make a lower budget movie than the money they got from Disney and make a proper scary Doctor Who that'd be more exciting,
Fan 01 is saying to us, it's the other way around with Doctor Who, though. No one is watching it, but the BBC seems somehow determined to keep making it. Yeah, it ties in with what Gareth is saying there, because what he's suggesting, of course, is that they're putting these things out, and we're so programmed now to watch it that nobody can switch the thing off. And yet with Doctor Who, as he will know, and he doesn't like talking about Doctor Who, let's face it, he doesn't like it. But he doesn't watch Doctor Who, by the way. But with Doctor Who, fans especially, don't switch it off. The public might do. But look at the ratings for the last series. That suggests that there's at least 1.2 million Doctor Who fans left in the country.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah, it's very sad, yeah. And it's very sad as well, the fact that the BBC want to keep it, and back in 89 they didn't, and it was in much better shape in 89 than it was now, you know, incredible. You know?
Yeah, although they'd argue against that, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
I don't know. Bernard played the Cyclops in Krulls, the Kamikaze guy. There you go.
I thought he was in it, yeah.
Captain My Captain also says the same thing. Stephen Braddock wants a cool review. Oh.
I told you.
Start. Is Lex still there?
You've done it now.
I don't think I've ever seen it, actually. I'm not going to have to dig out.
I haven't seen it.
This I didn't know from Lex. There was a USA pilot episode of Only Fools and Horses. It was awful. I'm based in New York. Lex, don't you find though that a lot of the things there don't transfer? Look at the AbFab version they did with Razan Bar. That was bloody awful, that pilot.
They did a porridge version as well.
Which didn't work. The Faulty Towers with B. Arthur, it didn't work. But it also is the same here. The Golden Girls here became Brighton Bells. It was bloody awful. And it was using the same scripts. They should stop trying to remake things because it's very rare you'll get something that works. It's very rare.
I think they did. Was it Sanford and Son, which was like a spin-off of Steptoe and Son, I think?
Yeah.
Similar kind of idea, yeah.
They did Alf Garnett as well, didn't they, with Archie Bunker's Place?
That's right, yeah.
Love Thy Neighbour, like Hancock went to Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the super chat from Drax. Thank you here. Kim Cattrall, who was the star, in my opinion, of Sex and the City, who has not appeared in the sequel series, was born on the 21st of August, 1956 in Mosley Hill in Liverpool. And she always comes to visit her family in Liverpool. Yes, she does. And I love that fact as well. And I was always hoping I'd bump into her. They say, all right, girl, how are you? Because she's made a lovely success. She was in Mannequin. Do you remember that 1980s film?
Mannequin.
She was in Porky's as well, I believe. Was it Porky's?
And she was in Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country.
Yeah, sure.
But Mannequin is one of those films. I love the 80s films like that. They can never make them now. You always know an 80s film from the soundtrack and the feel and the production and the look. And it's got a magic to them for me because I grew up with them. You could never get them today. They never look like that.
Something like Splash as well, with Daryl Hannah as a mermaid.
Oh, I love Splash. But all these things as well, they've tried to make into television shows. Mannequin, they tried to make into a TV series. Splash, they tried to make into a TV series. Either that or they've tried to remake it for a modern audience for the movies. And what happens? They either get cancelled very quickly or they don't go ahead or they don't make any money.
Yeah.
It's all tied in with what we're saying here.
Sorry, JT. She was also in one of my favourite 80s films, which was Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'd forgotten about that.
I love that film.
Is over there with Shanghai Surprise, whatever it was, with Madonna. Do you remember that? It's over there. I don't know why.
Brilliant film. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Adam Moth is saying to us, I think you may all be missing a point. Now the right people are watching Doctor Who, according to RTD and the BBC.
Yes. It's a tiny minority audience, clearly. But,
well, it's the audience they wanted. But as we keep saying, that audience will not support all this nonsense merchandise. I mean, it's a very small... And you're right, Adam Moth. You are right, but it's such a shame because had it been done right now we would be talking about how big Doctor Who was. Yeah. And we would do more to talk about good quality merchandise coming through. Oh, our lead actor is brilliant. The script for that was good. The script for that was good. Instead, we're all here to say, what a load of old crap this is.
It doesn't please us to say the Doctor Who's currently rubbish. I mean, I'd rather it was better and good than rubbish and crap. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Well, we were just betrayed in a sense, weren't we? Yeah. And the show was sold down the Thames. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. We're called The Midwife and Doctor Who. It appears the creative industry is very uncreative, just saturated, shallow regurgitations. Gareth is spot on, says Jason Parker. It is a good article. I'm glad you like it because I thought it was brilliant. And as somebody was saying there, he hasn't lost his writing style. The humour shines through. He manages to do very good, serious points with that humorous
dry humour. Yeah.
Yeah, and the stuff, it's like his book that he brought out last year when he came to talk to us on the show. It's got that dry humor in it as well, and that's why his material is always a joy to read, because you know you're going to have a little smile at some point as well, you know. And some of it can be tongue in cheek, but it's always a serious point. It makes you think. And here he's asking, why don't we just switch the crap off? When it comes to Doctor Who, though, millions of us did.
Yeah.
But he's right. There's certain other things, and he's certainly right by certain producers and production teams saying, "Oh, it's not doing very well, but let's carry on with it anyway, shall we?" You know, benign crinoids with us as well. Localized, creepy, and claustrophobic Doctor Who wouldn't cost the earth, and maybe the public would love it. Look how successful cheap Doctor Who was back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, problem being is that they tried to do space in the US too, did they? Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! I don't think that would have gone down very well, to be honest. Oh,
but
and
did the Office worked, didn't it? The Office worked, I think, for them.
Oh, The Office was a big success for them. Yes, so that's one of the rare examples. Rare example. Robert Payne said they tried to do Dad's Army badly. How can you do Dad's Army in America?
Did they really? I mean, how can they do it? Did they have the equivalent of the Home Guard in States? I don't know.
I've seen one episode of the American Dad Army a long time ago, and it is awful.
I've seen clips of the Porridge show there was a documentary about porridge, an anniversary of porridge, and they showed some clips of that, and the gags just fell flat. They were honestly, literally translated scripts. They weren't even adapted. They were just same gags, same everything, and just there were no Ronnie Barker. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Oh, they did the It Crowd as well.
Yeah.
And that was awful.
And sometimes, of course, you get the two versions running at the same time, don't you? So you can get the British version and the American version, especially, or whatever it's going to be, because the BBC might say, right, okay, you can have the rights to form your own version of this, but they'll still show their own version. You know, they did that with AbFab for a little while when the two were running consecutively, and it was always going to be the Jennifer Saunders one that was going to hit out with popular. Their version of AbFab was terrible. That pilot was awful. The American version of Red Dwarf, even the original Crichton, was awful, says Bill Lowry. And Forbidden Man saying Law and Order UK was rubbish here. Chibnall was involved with that, you know.
That Peter Davison and Freeman was in it, and Bradley Walsh was in it as well.
Peter Davison was in it. Yeah. It was a good cast, but they used the American scripts again.
Right.
They were American scripts. They should have just done original British sort of stuff rather than just trying to make it British from these American scripts. Fafty Head, good to see you.
Great.
I love the avatar as well. You see that?
It's Burt Reynolds, isn't it? Yeah,
it's Burt Reynolds. I just mentioned the Golden Girls there. Blanche always had in the Golden Girls this thing about having never been able to sleep with Burt Reynolds.
Is that from Hooper or from Smokey and the Bandit? I can't. Smokey and the Bandit.
It looks like Smokey and the Bandit to me. But anyway, they did a US version of Dad's Army. Whoa, what a disaster! I can't imagine that at all.
Oh, neither can I. Yeah.
Duxford Productions was saying I hated the 80s, but they were wonderful by comparison with the crap culture we're being force-fed now. Exactly.
The Dad's Army movie with all the talent in it is awful. The one that's got Catherine Zeta-Jones in it. Bill Patterson and people like that. Incredible.
Yeah. It's such a shame that really, wasn't it? Because it was a great cast, but it didn't work. And Third Doctor Andrew saying to his correction, no one is watching Doctor Who or the BBC. Again, a good point. BBC this week losing lots more people. Yeah, we'll come to look at that eventually as well. But everybody, do you see what Gareth is saying to us here? It's very appropriate to certain Doctor Who fans. I mean, we've all met them. And we've still got friends, I would imagine, who are those sort of Doctor Who fans. When I'll say to them, it's not Doctor Who, they've even rewritten the character to say he was a little girl originally before the series started. They're just head in sand, blah, 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 blah. The only thing that's recognizable, I've said this before, the only thing that is Doctor Who about it is the name, a bastardization of the theme tune, and a bloody police box. The rest of it is completely different. It's not Doctor Who. Switch it off, and yet they can't quite do it, and they'll still buy the magazine because it says Doctor Who. They'll buy certain crappy bits of merchandise. They'll buy certain CDs from certain companies because it's Doctor Who, it's canon. he's right. I think Gareth's absolutely right in this article to say what he said here. I think it's very interesting. There's some reason why people can't switch off a show they've been invested in. Do you think it's because of the time, guys?
I think it probably is because, you know, like we said, we've been there. You know, we've been there since the 70s. You know, you want your show to succeed. You want it to be good. You're hoping that it's going to turn that corner, and I never quite managed it. I mean, that's why I stuck with it during Jodie. Hopefully, someone's going to get better.
That's what Gareth's talking about there, isn't it? Because some of you guys stuck with it through the Jodie Whittaker era. Yeah. You were not happy with it at all. You watched the ruination and revision of the lead character.
Yeah,
you were still there.
Because the time as children thing, that was awful.
Horror, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I've, you know, and I know I'm not the only one, including yourselves. You know, I got Doctor Who weekly from issue 1 back in October '79 and everything else, and got it all the way through. But as it started going the way with Crystal Meth that it did, and then they announced Jodie and everything, I stopped. You know, I tapped out. Something I had bought religiously for years, I just stopped. And we have a little bit more discernment, don't we? Because there are those that, because it has Doctor Who written on it, they will buy it. But we have managed to stop. You know, there's different levels of it, definitely. I'd say we hold on to the sanity.
I was going to say, don't get me started about Crystal Meth and the Time Team fast-forwarding classic Doctor Who.
We touched on Time Team, didn't we, JT, last night? It was like when they got rid of the original one, it was awful.
That was superb. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, but that's the start of it there. They got rid of the adults. They sent them out the room, brought all these spoiled brats with their new philosophies and theories and no experience basically at all, and they expected us all to like it. And that's wrong. And I don't know, I get so frustrated with it all, Who viewers. We've got Duck Soup Production Centres. If only they didn't call it Doctor Who, they could do whatever they wanted to and bugger it all. I still wouldn't watch, but I wouldn't care either. That ties in with what I've always said, Duck Soup, is that they should have had the balls in 2004 when they were putting the thing into production to reboot it and start again. Doctor One, day one. Now that could actually still happen, I suppose, if anyone's brave enough to take the show off again. But can you imagine if they'd done that? Some of us would have come to it and said, it's not for us. Fair enough, off we go. We've still got 26 years. Some of us would have said, oh, let's see where it goes, and may have grown into it. But when they would have casted the woman, it wouldn't have had the fuss that it made, because it was a new version of the Doctor. And I reckon people like me, had it been a reboot, I would have said, okay, I'll go with this because it's a different show. Let's see what he does. And it might have worked. But no, RTD, because he's a fan, had to say, oh, this is Doctor 9. And then look where it's got us. As I've said before, this version of Doctor Who has more baggage than the original 26 years. That's why they can't continue it. It has to be rebooted in whatever form a new production team want to do. Whether they just bring it back and say, this is just the Doctor, get rid of the numbering system, but get rid of all that Time War crap, get rid of all that gender changing crap, get rid of all any reference to any of the 20 years that have just gone, because it's too much baggage, and that's what they can't afford to bring on. It will kill it if they do that.
No, they do need to start from scratch, and just it's the Doctor traveling with a companion, and that's all we need. That's what you want.
Well, they managed to do it for 26 seasons quite happily. I know sometimes it got a little bit self-referential with J&T, but then I suppose he was a little bit pressured at some points by the fans to include old stuff like that.
He was trying to please people, you know.
And then they beat him over the head for it anyway. He couldn't do right for doing wrong sometimes, bless him.
Go on, Ian.
No, I was saying, but you know, it was still original stuff. You know, it was getting towards the end of its run, but it was still turning out Fenric. It was still turning out Remembrance of the Daleks. You know, it was still turning out good stuff as it approached the end. And although, go on.
I was going to say, if it wasn't for J&T, Doctor would have finished in season 17 or 18. You know what I mean? It wouldn't have lasted without him. You know what I mean? So that's the thing.
We've got Bill Larry saying to us here, we were hoping it would improve, that Whittaker would start to be the Doctor. It never happened. With Gatwa, it was clear from the start he was wrong. That's what Gareth is writing about. The fact that people are tuning into this thing. Paul's mentioned it before, frightened of missing something, frightened that there might be a great, big, brilliant episode, frightened that it will suddenly get good. The brilliant thing about it today, in this day and age, though, is if you switch the bloody thing off, you can come onto shows like ours or other things, or read in the paper, or you will hear from fandom, my God, it's picked up. And then you go back to it.
It's probably a kind of Pavlov's dogs type thing of terms of
psychological.
When we were a kid, we couldn't, if you missed it 1 week, you just missed it. That was it. You couldn't see it again. That's what we were, you know.
But the problem is now we're dealing with generations that don't know that feeling, and they're still doing it. How many of these young people have I seen on YouTube channels or on social media, especially, saying, oh, it's not very good, but it could be, and I don't want to basically miss it. You're not going to, because it's going to be there. If somebody says, oh, that was the best episode of whatever it was for years, you can say, okay, then I'll go and watch it wherever.
Yeah.
You know, there's no way you can miss something now. And I think there's that psychological element here, that inability for people to cut the cord. And I think people have got to be strong. I mean, you know, how many of us have done it with not just Doctor Who, but with Doctor Who magazine, with the CDs, with the books, with the merchandise? I know it's difficult. I did it myself, but cut the cord.
Yeah.
I can't support any of that. It's rubbish. You know, and I understand it's difficult for some people, but get over it. There's no point hanging on. If anything's going to be good, you'll know about it and you can go and see it. That's the danger they've got with bringing the show back, because there's no ready-made audience for it now. It's not going to get 8, 9, 10 million for the first episode because people don't care. It's going to have to be down to fans again in any new version to say, I'll tune in, and if it's good, get them to tell other fans who will then come to watch it within the first week. Oh, that's good. And then the magic happens. Oh, we've seen Doctor Who. Oh, it was pretty good. The new guy's really good. Notice I use the word the new guy. Don't care. Oh, the new guy's really good. The story was really good. It might be worth you just having a look at it. Recommendation. And still, that's where your viewing figures build up over weeks, like it did with 2005. Within the weeks, you've got to have more than 8 episodes. It's going to build up there, you know, because people will go back and watch it.
Yeah. That's kind of what I hope with Sooty, to be honest. There's going to be, he might be quite good. No, he wasn't. Yeah.
But when you're getting fans, especially, come in and say, oh, it's rubbish, don't bother with it, that says the world. Chester saying to us, I did shut it off for quite a while after the first couple of episodes of season 1. Came back out of curiosity after season 2 started. I thought there were a few good episodes, but most were mediocre to bad. Absolutely. Dalek Lives Matter is saying to us, if someone took a sledgehammer to a classic E-type Jag, I'll look at the result and understand it as an act of vandalism. We better not talk about Jaguar. That's heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. This is another thing where the DEI came in. Oh, it's brilliant. It's great. It's fantastic. All these far lefties as well, loving it. Even this week, I've been watching on Talk TV. They're justifying the fact it's laying off hundreds of people for DEI. And they're justifying it because they're so bloody minded. Get a bloody grip. That's somebody's livelihood and job you've just taken away from them. How dare you to tick your boxes? Get a bloody grip. It's terrible, isn't it? Absolutely terrible. How the hell can RCD be a fan and do what he did? How, says Robert Payne? Anybody got an answer to that?
I genuinely don't think he is. I think he thinks he is. And I think he thinks he knows the history of the show like an old fan would. But he doesn't. When you see what he did with Sutek and when you see what he did with Omega, you know he's got absolutely no understanding about those characters. None at all.
Because as Paul found out, it's for content. And it's for clicks. If you're starting to write a television show, certainly a British legendary television show like Doctor Who, just for clicks, you're the wrong man for the job. Bugger off. No, that's not what we want. Congratulations to Domgo, who's just saying to us, I've just won an auction on 26 Target books, and there says Yas Queen sat in the corner. But congratulations.
Has he done a kick? Has he done a high kick as well?
That's what he's doing.
Don't wrap yourself.
Stephen O'Neill saying to us, Whittaker and Gatwa never cared about the Doctor. Simple as that. It's just another acting job to them. That's the danger we've got now as well, Stephen, I reckon, with these generations that have come through who are in their 30s downwards. It's just another job. Oh, it's a launch pad. Oh, it can get me in America. Oh, it can get me big money. I think Whittaker and Gatwa have just had big culture shocks.
I think it's up to the producer to be able to let the actors understand what they're getting into, because I don't think they do that anymore, because You know, certainly the new Doctors, you know, I don't think they really knew how big Doctor Who could or would be, and how much respect and how much of a following it had. You know what I mean?
I do. And Paul Schlefter is saying to us, I confess I still get Doctor Who magazine. I've been getting it since I was a youngster in 1992. Oh, shut up. Bloody hell. Oh, goodness me. I got the first one in 1979, for heaven's sake. Anyway, yeah. I read it for the classic features. I don't read any features on the current series. It's going to be interesting to see where they're going to go now.
Yeah.
I bet you the Doctor Who people in Panini are scrambling around to say, how did they do it back then when Doctor Who came off in 89? They're in for a culture shock. Paul then continues to say, I think Doctor Who magazine has been a huge part of my life, and I would struggle to cut the cord. My hubby would be happy. It would mean more space in the house. Yeah, probably. But that's what I'm saying. For a lot of people, the investment in Doctor Who or Star Trek or whatever it's going to be, Call the Midwife, because they have a huge fan base, the investment in that over years is intense. It's intense.
Yeah.
And I can't say it, we are being played. We're being played by these people because they know that. And that's the thing. Like all the merchandise we talked about at the top of the show, stick the Doctor Who logo and they'll buy it.
I think the trouble with Doctor Who magazine now is they're really struggling to be original anymore. You know what I mean? Because they've been going for so long. And I think they've rehashed so many ideas and articles over the years. It's really hard to keep that interest from me potentially because it's just all the same stuff being rehashed. You know?
Yeah. It's like Philip saying to us here, if it's like a bad marriage, leave.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, I think. Because even when you're in a bad relationship, it takes guts to get out of it, doesn't it? And we're in bad relationships with all these franchises. Yeah. And it is difficult to cut the cord for a lot of them, you know?
Because I remember sorry, you can.
Sorry, mate. If they're doing articles on classic series stuff and everything else, it's going to be written by the knobs that are running it now, though, isn't it? So they're going to be putting a very far left, melty.
It will. Especially when you're taking people on. I mentioned it briefly last night. Somebody I don't like, no message I don't want to. Who's got a quiz book out at the moment? Ha ha ha! An official one this time round. You know the one. Don't really care. I haven't got time for her, but she's working. She's got BBC Studios CD coming out. She's or is it a book, whatever. She's also working for the Blooming magazine. She was on the Time team.
Oh, right,
one of those. It's a long time since the days of Andrew Pixley, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Proper fans who got proper jobs and wrote proper articles. This lot are just in it. Oh, look at us, we're fans and we love it. Yeah, but you can't write for anything else, really. If you look at people like Gary Gillis and everybody, they went on to do other things in other spheres. They left Doctor Who behind and went on to do other stuff. And they still are passionate about what they're doing because they're interested in it.
Yeah.
Let's see how long Doctor Who magazine lasts now, eh? Everybody.
I think
Go on, Paul.
Okay, I think you've seen. I guess you've seen these kind of specials they do, like the Daleks and the Cybermen. They're just rehashing all these articles again, and you know, when I remember when the 60th came out, I got the 60th anniversary special they did, thinking it'd be really good because it might be like the 10th anniversary special, it'd be really good. I'll cover everything. It was appalling, awful, waste of money. I think it was 12 quid or something ridiculous.
I won't buy anything from Doctor Who magazine now because I get, as you say, it's a rehasher. It's too expensive. It's just a waste of time. I used to find it hard to cut the cord to Legion of James, but from the moment Star Wars returned, I found it easier and easier to just switch off and move on and just cherish what we have already. Totally. You know, again, I cut the cord with Star Wars and with Star Trek because I just thought this is rubbish. Domgo, why did the army of trans and drag queens not watch the Gatwa era? Monsoon said they would. Probably got better things to do and watching a load of rubbish.
Even they thought it was crap. That's probably the thing. It was.
Yeah. They were expecting this new audience, weren't they? John Henson is saying, I only watch classic Who. Well, that's all you've got at the moment, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
What else we got? Darren saying to us, Darren Hambrow, let's not forget the money involved. Scriptwriters get an average 10% of episode budget. They don't care. The RTT Cult Club make a fortune out of us. They've made their careers have been made thanks to us, the original fan base, thanks to Doctor Who fans, and they don't want to acknowledge that because they're not quite nice people.
No.
What else we got here? Thank you very much for all your chats, actually. It's really good to hear. I wonder what was going through Jodie said when she accepted the role, says Marie UK. Was it just money? Because I never asked for a female doctor. No, nobody wanted a female doctor. None of us asked. It was totally not wanted. No, what I believe, Marie UK, was what sold it to her was Chibnall taking her for a lunch or something like this, or talking to her and say, "You're the first female."
Yeah.
That's quite
She only
tempting.
got it because they couldn't get the other lady from Broadchurch. That was the thing, wasn't it? What's her
I
name?
don't think that's true. I think that's a fan rumor for Olivia Colman.
Right.
I don't think she was approached. She was far too busy doing everything else.
Yeah.
So I don't think that is true. I think that's an absolute untruth. I did see her on something on British television where she just said it's not something she would have been interested in anyway. Right. Because she was getting work after work after work.
She was, yeah.
There was no way she could have fitted Doctor Who into that, and Chibnall would have known that. I think he went straight to Whittaker.
But that's just lady casting, isn't it? I've worked with someone else on another show. We'll just cast them. You know, it's like,
Well,
if she was the first choice for the first female Doctor, that's just so lazy, you know.
And last, it's like David Bradley said. He knew that Chibnall would cast somebody, or he felt that Chibnall would cast somebody from the Broadchurch family. That's what he called it, the Broadchurch family. But I was expecting it to be Andrew somebody that played Jodie Whittaker's husband. Yeah. You know, I was expecting it to be him because I knew I'd heard he was going to cast from Broadchurch. I'd never realised it was going to be Whittaker. What an awful thing that was. Adam Moth is saying, "You're so right. For most of my life, I've been Doctor Who's extra companion. Now, unfortunately, I don't want to be." Well, you're all right with all of us here because we're all struggling with it as well. I'm up to here talking about RTD. You know, and I know for a fact, Ada, that if the next reiteration isn't what I think is going to be Doctor Who, it's going to be a massive flop within 3-4 weeks. Yeah, it's just a shame BBC Studios don't seem to understand that as well. Isn't it really? They need to listen. What else have we got here? Thank you very much. Yes, from Scott Enigma, exactly this. If it stops being fun, let it go. A quote from Tegan. She actually said, "Give it up." I think if it stops being fun, give it up. But that's me being panicky.
That Vanessa said to her family. Yeah.
Bundy 4077. I'm a victim. I love Star Trek, Star Wars, and Doctor Who. And then a little emoji face was just crying because people are invested. We've invested money and time and decades, and it's very difficult to let it go, especially nowadays when all these new far lefties are coming in with all their politics into it. I can understand it. I can understand it's difficult for people. I think it's sad. It's such a shame, says Paul Schlafter, that such a great brand has been destroyed, including Doctor Who magazine, a magazine that's been going since 1979. These people have a lot to answer for in society as well, because these are the people that have put us where we are today. Yeah. Honestly. And are quite happy to continue to destroy the planet to prove a point, which is usually based on a lie. Honestly. What else? Pete Harrington is actually saying to us, the Chronicles are nicely done magazines. I've seen a couple of them, Pete, and I do agree with you, but I'm not going to supplement them because it supplements the crap that they churn out every month. Yeah, you know. So, not interested. Domgo's saying it would be a more painful articles on pride connections with Doctor Who. That's the other reason I'm not going to get it.
They've done that issue, haven't they? Yeah,
twice I think. But they keep going on about it. I mean, the last one I looked at, not the last one, but the one before. With Dawson, all the weird stuff, and the editor is part of the cult. Let's face it, I can't remember his name. The fop with the bloody velvet coat.
He's the new editor, fairly new, isn't he? Yeah.
Whatever. But yes, so there we go, everybody. That's that. There, I thought that was a fantastic article from Gareth. I'm glad you enjoyed that one. It's been great to talk about it. But if you get to see this particular episode, well done. Keep them coming. Thank you very much. Always a joy to look at them. Gareth asking there, great headline as well. Very funny. Why we keep watching TV shows we don't actually like. That's where most people are, I think, in Doctor Who fandom. Yeah, it really is. It's an interesting subject. We might come back to it one day in the future. I think there might be a whole show there for us. I don't know.
You might be right.
Come on. Anyway, there we go. Well, listen, thank you very much for watching us tonight. It's great to see so many of you with us. Thank you very much. You've been watching Who's Views Headlines, your big show on a Sunday night. Thanks to Paul and thanks to Third Doctor Ian as ever. I hope you enjoyed the topics tonight, guys.
Very much. It's nice to be back, yes.
We're only away for one show.
I know. It feels like ages. Yes.
As we mentioned earlier on, if you are interested, we have Oh, look, there's Connie. Hello, Connie, who's always saying, listen, I don't think I've seen anyone mention Space Babies this week. I wonder why.
That was a classic.
We've got a couple of people coming
action,
through.
Yeah.
Ocular. I spent a fortune on Doctor Who merchandise over the years. The only stuff I have bought in the last 10 years is vintage 1970s Weetabix cards. Yes, I can imagine those. I can imagine.
But you never had to sit through all those Weetabix to get them. That's the problem. That's
the only thing I'm buying, says G35 now, are the collection sets, standard editions. I initially promised myself I wouldn't buy them as I just replaced my videos with DVDs. No regrets though, they're great. I'm quite happy, G35, as you know, buying the standard edition Blu-rays of the original series, but I'm not ever going to touch anything from 2005 again. I just can't be bothered.
No. It's worth it for the extras at least, and the enhanced picture quality as well. Very good.
Yeah. So I'm going to be very honest with you all. Reviews of anything from 2005 are going to be difficult for me because all paths lead to Whittaker and Gatwa. That's the problem when you're connecting your show. And you want it to be one big thing because it goes to two eras I cannot stand, and I know it. See, it's going to be difficult when we start looking at them again. But they're on the way. God. Lots of nice comments from you in the chat about I'm glad you've enjoyed the show. Really good show. And I'm glad you've all enjoyed it. And smashing. You're all very welcome. Thank you, everybody, for subscribing. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Give us a thumbs up, everybody, as well for this particular show. You can leave a comment for us as well. Don't forget, anytime you like on there. If you are interested, we're back tomorrow, Monday, at 8 o'clock with Whose Views Recommends, or do we? Superman. The latest Superman movie. Kirsty and I have both seen it. Some of you in the chat have as well. Let's have a chat. Do you recommend it? Will Kirsty recommend it? And will I recommend it? Superman 2025. I'm a tough nut. Yes. Tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Come and have a laugh on a Monday night. Thank you so much. Headlines will be back again when they drop a headline. Don't forget about it. We might be back earlier than you think. Who knows what's going to happen this week? We're also going to be expecting the release, not just of the cover, which we've already got, but of the details of the Blake 7 Series 2 Blu-ray Standard Edition that's coming out. Those details should be with us any time now, we're reliably informed. So watch out for a Merchandise Paradise show. And apparently, and I'm still waiting for it, there's another Doctor Who standard release to be announced. That could be any time soon. If particular people that I know are telling me this, can you get them to hurry it up, please? Because I want it now. I'm sick and tired of waiting. I've watched mine. I need a new one. So thank you so much. It's season 20, apparently, on standard edition. That's going to be a great show. 1983. Oh, happy days. From all of us at Whose Views, from Ian, from Paul, myself, thank you for joining us. We'll see you again soon. Take care of yourselves. Ciao, everybody. Good night.
Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.